Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, yeah. I'm so handsome. All in Carmine's with my Benz, I'm so fancy. No romancing. Got my baby and she right, she make you vanish. No time to play, got book dates. Had a plan, only had to wait. Always knew I'd make a way. Send a bill, they send a pay. Keep it real, keep the record straight. Keep it real, no time to fake. All authentic in my own lane. I am me till I'm in the grave. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, ooh, never panic. Get a worry, send it up and then advantage. Yeah, I can't stand it. Out of order way you move and see you scrambling. On offense, no defense. Still strong, no weakness. Used to say I wouldn't beat this. Now they wish they could beat this. Tables set, now tables turn. God's plan, don't say a word. Know the price, cause I know my worth. My time, get what I deserve. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, won't stop.
Welcome back, everybody. Yes, Jordan, you are first. Word of Mouth Wednesday night. Got a couple things to go over tonight. I had some interesting topics to see last night. I actually was on the phone with Mr. Adam Kramer for good couple hours last night talking about the state of things, yada, yada, yada. A bunch of good things came of it. Let me get this thing started right now. Sorry, I got to get some music going for myself here. Because you guys hear me, I don't get to hear you. I was running a little late just now, just trying to help somebody else getting updates done. Let's go. I'm going to make it a Taylor Swift kind of night. I know, it's becoming regular, but Taylor Swift nights are incredible. Okay, so first thing I got to do, Chad Fisher, the second Chad Fisher, the newer one from down south, not the one from my neck of the woods. He just bought a machine. I want to show him exactly where to go here. So if we go to yes and agree, once you're into the operator menu, we're going to go under troubleshooting shortcuts and screen size adjustment. Right? Now, this is an issue for those of you that are only playing on your home edition on your machine. Once you set this here right, it's fine. It'll be perfect. Now, the reason why we see different screen size problems at tournaments and things is because not all the TVs are the same. And you're never lining up the right TV with the machine that it came from. But it's really easy. You're just going to go in and if you make it any bigger than this, mine won't let me because I'm in the max size because it's perfectly set. But as long as you got that full box there, you'll see the full screen. But that was for you, Chad Fisher. So just so you can see it, it's troubleshooting shortcuts, screen size adjustments. A lot of times I just recommend getting the setting right on your television because then you don't have to mess with this. It's not a big deal either way. I still remember one of the earlier TOCs that was at Lake Geneva. Evan Gossett and I were the only two in the room, and we were literally going in, having to go behind and touch the buttons on the TVs to get the screens all set up. And it used to be a ritual of mine before this adjustment was there. Now it's easy. Now I just operator menu, bam, smaller, you're good. But that's how you fix that. Really easy. Okay, now, another big one. We're looking like home editions for PGA are tentatively scheduled to be the end of May. Jason, sorry, I just got your text and I didn't have time to get to it. Well, so next stream for certain, I will absolutely do that, okay? Yeah, no problem, Chad, you got it. Okay, so we did a lot of talking about PGA and things. I still am relaying my one concern, that my major concern. Yeah, the buttons you'll get used to. I think the touchscreen is in play. I don't like it. I think Chad saw the same thing when he played on it just now. Price point's going to be right around the same. Obviously, right now, they might have a little more cost because shipping costs and yada, yada, yada. But the price point has always been set right around the $4,000 spot. Now, that's going to be tentative, too, because they don't know if they're going to package it with the TV, without. If you buy the stand, yeah, there's going to be different points on it. But don't expect much difference between the PGA machine and the home edition that we had now. Right around 4K. Perfect. There we go. Now, we were also talking, people are talking that the courses are too easy. And they are. But they're not for necessarily the likes of us, okay? They're really not. It's cool. We're going to play them once in a while. They might be too easy. Now, the settings, though, I brought this up with him as one of my concerns, that everybody's saying they're getting nothing more than a 2-degree break on any of the greens. And I know even playing casual when we played at IT, there were more breaks than that. So I got a feeling for the starting point, and Adam's going to look into it for me and get back to me and see if they've just set it down to be too easy. It's set too easily. Don't think it's always going to be like that. Like we've had on our events, we've had easy greens. We've had you have the ones with constant winds. It's settings they can make. Those greens are not designed with only 2-degree break, because I know for certain we were playing with other ones. So expect them to be a little bit more difficult. But as we see, Golden Tee as a fantasy will own any PGA course they put out there, okay? We have way too much control on what we can do with the ball. It's going to happen. Now, Justin, I personally think that it needs to go. If you look, they got a great big open deck, and there's tons of room for things. I really would love to see it up here where the keypad is, because that is now actual space. You could put it up in that corner, no problem. And then you wouldn't be so compressed on the front. But Adam had reasons for it, and he had some viable points. But actually, just playing it, I didn't like where the screen is personally. If it's going to be there, they need to. Ah, yeah, we didn't do it, Jason. But it's really easy, Jason. I'll give a walkthrough on it when we get closer to the time that we're going to see the machines. Us, where we're located, probably not going to see it very quick. Well, you guys have one up there. I'm not going to see one for a while. But yeah, they're going to be, those courses are going to be a bit easier. They really are. We can make mockeries of them. You just couldn't account for that. If they're going to make them exactly the way that the courses are, which they are, and not GoldenTeeify them, I think it's kind of cool. It's a great introduction for people getting into Golden Tee. It's going to be awesome. That being said, I don't know where the rumor or where it's going online, but it really seems as if a lot of the issues that people are having with PGA, Kevin, I doubt he does. And Kegs is actually partnered with Richard, so their vending company is together. So Richard King and him are together. I don't think they are. I don't think they went to the Operator Summit and had the chance to get it. Well, you got a couple other things, and if you got to make sure the jukebox is off too. So that's good. That would be good. And Pitchers is really, they're really nice to us as a group. And that's where we have the TOC every year. If we come back there, I'm assuming it's going to be there again. Yeah. I don't think they were at the. Well, I know Richard wasn't there. I don't think Kegs was there. Don't worry, guys. So now, when Adam's telling me probably late May for home edition for the PGA. Okay, there's going to be a lot based off of that. Obviously, supply chain issues are out of their control, out of our control, out of who knows control. The only issue that would stop it from them is one, parts, and then two, if they haven't shipped out all of the machines that are waiting until all the machines that are ready to go for commercial. And if that's the case, guys, be really happy if they haven't gotten them out by then, because that means they're selling a whole shit ton of them, and the game that we know and love is still going to be there. That's where I'm looking at this for. I have no doubt in the future Adam is a very proactive guy. If he sees that everybody's having a problem with something, there'll be a new iteration design. And to be honest, it's not going to take much for them to mess with that deck, unless they're getting everything pre-cut. But all they have to do is send a different template out. It's going to still be the same thing. There's not anything that can't be moved pretty readily off there by just simply cutting different holes. So that's not too bad. And then honestly, if it's my home edition, I don't like where that screen is, you might be seeing me cutting holes there. Or at least removing that plastic bezel and flush mounting that thing there. I know they were scared of it to flush mount it, thinking they needed a little bit more protection on it. But Jason, I would think there is not going to be a light up marquee, and I might be wrong with that, but the neon lighting with it does a very good job. But he got me reinvigorated and got me a bit more excited too. So with that news too, sometime this week, I'm going to start the process of giving away this beast of a machine right here. What I'm going to do with this is we're going to run an online handicap tournament. I will be the sole arbiter of those handicaps. If I feel that you're tanking a handicap, you won't be allowed to play. We're going to do probably an 80% handicap, and this is not 80% of rounded handicaps. So what we're going to do is when I get an entry, I'm going to probably try to get your last 10 scores or 20 scores and try to be really, really fair with it. And we all know. Yes, no, we are not using the brand new machines, Biddy. They will be using green decks. For absolute certain, we're going to call this World Championship a farewell to this edition. Yeah, I got you, Justin. That's perfect. But Gateway, well, I have on the 27th, I have the epidural, so I'll get a shot done. I'll get the shot in my back. And then on the 4th, we're doing the full PET CT. And obviously, if anybody understands, full pet CTs light up a whole bunch of stuff that may or may not be problems, but we're going down a path. So it's going to be going down a path. Surprisingly enough, the last 2 days, the last treatment of steroids is kind of sticking and feeling pretty good. So I got tingles but no pain, and I've been able to shoot a little bit. But let's take a look at the tits now. Jason, your handicap is going to be something else there, man. Your handicap is going to be something we got to figure out. I've honestly never seen somebody that can shoot 30s on one course and then even par on another. It just doesn't line up. There's something wrong in your head that we got to do it. They should be brand new green decks, but that is an interesting question. Hi, Gino. How you doing, bud? Now, you guys look. Oh, I think Gino's trying to rip me into being, because if you didn't see on the Word of Mouth Facebook page and Gino's other posts in the Golden Tee communities, he has a new podcast up. It's got a little time with Ryan McCook, blah, blah, blah. But then the one and only Russ Layton will be live with him on his podcast. So, oh, yeah, and then Steve Sobel, too, whatever. I don't know why he did that. Russ would have been a perfectly good guest. We didn't need any Sobel in there. But Steve finally got it. Steve got his selfie with Jason at the tournament, and he's getting on the podcast, dude. He's actually becoming a member of the community. All right, so let's take a look at the event. I played 6 games so far and got my games in. I was watching, I had it all completely dark down here watching The Matrix. And I gotta say, The Matrix was, it's good, but if it stands alone, if that's the only film, it's trash. It's fun. If they're making another trilogy, it's a great starting point. It leads you down some paths, man. It's kind of cool. And they fit everything in really well, too, so it didn't feel like it was just thrown together. So I think you guys will enjoy it. Hey, my trackball cam's not on. Nobody noticed. Now I moved it, turning it on. Shit. Hey, T-Rav. All right, that's as good as it's going to get. Now, I'm just playing my standard bag, my standard set of clubs, the 8.5, 10.5, 4 wood down through 9 wood, and then a 4 iron, and then a mix of irons below that. So your standard set of clubs should be doing you just fine on this event. There's really a couple holes that are going to cause problems for people. I think I count 3. We'll take a look at the 3, and I'll give you guys a best case scenario on them. Yeah, I get that, Jason, but it's not even tanking your handicap. I'm all about having it fair, and there's no way in the world that you should ever be a 30 handicap. I'm sorry. I would be hesitant to even play you at a 30 handicap because I think it's just not fair. So while tanking your handicap is bad and unfair, going the other way is just as bad as unfair. You're hurting yourself. And I think you've seen it. You've played some invites with people that you don't have a chance of winning because your handicap's too high. Uh-oh. Oh, no. The moisture is already here. All right, that's how we start off the night, guys. That's how we started off. I mean, Taylor's got me going, man. It's got me going. All right, so this one can be challenging. We got a good look today. Be careful on this. A lot of times if you hit short up top, it can actually shoot forward harder than if you land on the green. So I'd be cognizant of always putting some kind of spin on this. Here I'm kind of going to go against my advice. I kind of want to just rip at this, but that's going to go too long. Let's just go with this. We got one and better already. Let's just be nice and safe. Yeah, but yours is a tough one. Now, what I'm going to do here, it's probably going to be a $25 entry fee. The first place will take down the machine. Second place will get a cash prize. Otherwise, then That's gonna be it. It's gotta get something back toward me. Can't get any money from YouTube for being in their partner program yet. Whatever. I'm getting tired of it. Uh-oh, that's not good. Right behind a good one to a bad one. No cardigan. Will they be out before Wisconsin? You know, Justin, it was one topic I didn't broach with them. I didn't bring up the new courses at all. I'll get some more information on that. I know that I'm going to head out. Adam was really excited about some stuff. It's buffering. I don't believe it should be buffering. Yeah, Jason, let me get everything there in a sign-up sheet organized so we have it. Is anybody else getting buffering? Because I'm not seeing anything that should cause a buffer right now. If it is, I can dumb it down. I left it up at a pretty high quality tonight at 1080p because the internet seemed to be running really well today. I can dumb it down. Huh. But yeah, Adam was... I got him in rare form. He was outside smoking a cigar, having a cocktail, and guys, you guys don't ever get to see this side of things. I know T-Rev has, but man, with these guys actually get really excited about the things they do at their jobs. He did also explain to me what happened with the T's mix-up, and while they created a test environment to do this, to test to see what it was, a little bit of error in the test environment. They're going to work it out and get it fixed with the mixed tees. Obviously, with the move into PGA, they got different things going on, different hands, and they're not that big of a shop. And Adam can't find people to hire either, is his other problem. But so as much as it irks us, we'll give them a little bit of leeway here. The new product will be good, but there's going to be some pain points along the way. Yeah, it's a ton of passion. So they get you fired up and make you forget how angry you were about things. I still, to this day, though, will argue with him on the placement of the buttons and the layout of the new machine. I don't like it. He has a reason for it. It's a good reason for it. I just still don't... I don't want to... It's taken away the feel that we have for it. Well... the Mary's Lovie Smith. He's probably my favorite coach of all time. Now, Virginia McCaskey, you mean? If we're talking McCaskey, I want them all the fuck gone from my Bears. And you can't be negative with Jerry Reinsdorf, even though he tried to break our stuff up before the end. Man, he gave me the best young years of my life, man. Going to Bulls games back then is something that was an event. Unbelievable. So it's got to be Mary Lovie Smith. We're going to fuck Jerry Reinsdorf, and we'll have to kill Miss McCaskey. That's it. The Bears are a train wreck right now, and I'm waiting. Every day I try to look at Chicago papers to see if we fired Nagy yet and his pace gone. And they're not gone yet. They're not gone, and we need them to be. Now, when we get the pin up front here, a lot of times you can hit the 10.5 driver and get it there. This is going to be cutting it close. I would definitely be high teeing it. So I'm actually going to high tee a 3-wood. It's going to leave me a longer-ish putt, but it will be on. Now, I may have been able to get the medium tee 10.5 there, but we'll take our chance at making a long putt rather than blowing the one better that becomes a DNF. Because if you go short, you're not really getting it up with a G wedge only. Okay, this is the awkward look on this where you kind of need to go to the left. And I don't like having to go to the left on this shot. Yeah, it was good. The medium 10 high would have been good. But it's still right on the edge, and I just had a hole out. I don't want to blow it yet. I'm fine with rough. That's okay. Hey, Adam, how you doing, sir? There is something maybe I never noticed the change. No. Oh, Thor EF, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. I have not seen any super spin on it. I think we're going to be get a little bit more limited club and ball selection, which I think is a positive because as of right now, everything's convoluted. A game mode that I suggested years ago, Adam's fully on board with, and obviously we're probably not going to see them right away as PGA comes out, but the year after that, I bet we're going to start seeing a lot more things. And my game mode, I hope I get naming. I get some naming recognition for it. Jordan, I actually just I booked through the room rate, and if you guys have a choice, if you can book through the block rate, right? If you can book through that block rate, it's a lot better, right? It's a lot. Oh, it's a lot better for IT because they have to meet a certain number, whatever, with booking these kinds of things. So if you can, I would book through there. Plus, I'm not making this a party trip or anything like that. Like, I'm coming in Friday, playing T Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I got to leave Monday. So Sunday night might be bad. I mean, they might not let me on a plane after how we perform on Sunday. But we're going to have a good time. And I'm so excited, Jordan, that you can come now. That's awesome. I have a feeling that's why they said, you know what, Circa, we're done with you. Jordan can't be there, man. Yeah, the block is at Westgate. Now, this hole has one of those... has one of the invisible walls on it that we saw on Monty 14, 15, or 16, something like that. It's like over here somewhere. Unless they fixed it. It's Westgate, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's Westgate, right? Somebody get, yeah. I booked it. It's Westgate. I booked it today, so it better be Westgate. And as Vegas rooms go, it's not too bad of a price. I think I paid $450, right? Oh, absolutely, Adam. If I could remember, if I could have gotten your name right one of the times, that'd be great. Justin, I'm sure they will once everything's in stone. Once everybody's in that needs to get in. Okay, so you guys can play a baby cut high tee, something around like this. What I want to find on a shot like this, though, is the repeatable shot. So if I can go like this by... And that's pretty repeatable. Now, that was a little bit close for comfort. Yes, the butt cheeks were puckered. Yeah, I was hurting a bit. Sitting down was the only relief that I was... Sitting down and doing that was the only relief I was really getting. Good thing I'm feeling a little bit better right now. During the weekend, I was really thinking, man, I need this surgery before Worlds, and it's going to be rough. And now that course of prednisone finished. I'm going to get the epidural, so a shot of cortisone in my back on the 27th. Yeah, I didn't even drink much, and I did okay. I did all right. I was actually really pleased. So with an outwind on this shot, the 5-wood and the 4-wood clear this, right? I don't want to murder a 5-wood because, all right. Oh, hey, hi, Rusty. Merry Christmas to you too, buddy. Sorry, I didn't see it. I saw the message when I was talking, like I like to do. There's a few different shots here. If the wind is in my face and the pin's where it's at, I'm going to hit like a 5-wood right through the two mountains. You got to hit the first plateau on the first bounce. It then hits the wall and will kick me back to the right. And that's the way to keep that up close, right? Now with this right now, I'm just going to murder boner this 5-wood with backspin. And I'm going to land and have no problem here. This is going to be perfect. But I'm not ever really going at the pin on the short side there because there's not much room to play with. Perfect. Got myself a line. That's all I'm looking for there. I'm not trying to make that shot. What other things do we talk about? I'm trying to think of things I can tell you guys. We were talking about where we hit the bodies. Then again, we can't say that on air. That's it. That's really it. Mostly about home edition concerns, things like that. Awesome. We're good. He wants to show me some cool stuff that they've got. It's a lot of different type things, a lot of different type of skins on the leaderboards and things that I want to take a look at too and see, make sure it's not unfair with gameplay. But the game's going to feel a lot more interactive when it gets to its final place. That was a very friendly look here. Oh, hey, Eddie, how you doing, buddy? I gotta say, man, you have made me be. I am now a very good shusher, and I appreciate it. And that's all you're doing, sir. Now, when you get the setup where you can hit the ball above the curve, the snow is the way to go. It's always there. It's always safe. They might be. You're probably right, Jordan. But if I can get that way up here, this is easy. This is much easier than screwing around with anything else. And that setup there, I may have even had a chance of make too, because I lined up the wind too good. Okay, this is going to be one of the challenging ones. Now, even though we're playing stouts, an outwind here still makes this hard to stop. So I'm going to show you guys the shot that I always hit on this hole back in the day. 8.5 driver, baby cut, hit it solid. And it didn't kick. I didn't hit it hard enough. You got to hit it up to the middle of that. It's got to be about in the middle way or higher. Otherwise, it's dead. Bounces straight in the air and lands it up. Why have you and IT for feedback if IT didn't? That's another topic. I don't know. I'm a little concerned. I hope people aren't taking the product too personally, that they think that their decisions are all correct. I mean, if you look, Chad Fisher posted his picks today. That touch screen is it's in play. I hate to say it, it is in play. If they flush mounted it, it wouldn't have mattered. That bezel around it bothered me, and I literally had a split on my pinky from hitting the edge of it over and over again. Now they have a different bezel on it now. It's a smoother plastic than it was before. So, and they're saying that your hand slides right over it. I'm gonna be the judge of that. I don't think it will, and that's gonna be my biggest problem with it altogether. So I lose a stroke here unless I make that. And I'm going to miss this too, but... So now we're back at clean right now. Rustic's a great course. That should be one we look at tonight. It's a fun course. So now, does the high T5 clear that tree in its current state? I doubt it. So we're just going to play a cut 3 wood here. And we're not going to cut it enough. Shit. Well, that's a weird little spot. Huh, that looks like a bad render job. All right, so we saved it. You're going to always put this ball to this spot. Even if you end up in the rough, it's not terrible, but this is a better shot to go at right now. Oh, we needed real backspin. So we still got a clean round going here. Okay, so we got ice. It won't matter. When you have ice here, you can play an A1 to skip off the ice and get it over there. It doesn't matter right now, though. We're just going to high tee it. Never touch the ice. Baby cut. Yeah, I just can't get into mobile, man. Ooh. All right, pins up top. I got to hit the 9 wood. We're going to hit it solid. Good. God, that hole can be a pain in the ass. Okay, 18, not an easy look. Now you can try to plop it down right next to the pin. That's tough. I'm gonna play this a little bit long and go to the fatter part. Just getting myself a putt. So that's a clean round. 34 is Golden Tee par on this event. It's always 34. Won't get more, won't get less. This one doesn't change, but it can be a little challenging. Let's give it one more go, and then I think I'll be at clean. I don't know, though. Gosh, I wish I really had more fever. Last week I could have won both the home edition and the commercial event. The last game I played at it, I was 3 better going into 17. At 17, I think it's 10 or 11 on Once last week. And I clipped the trees. It got stuck right against a rock. And I tried to get around it, but I ended up taking a par. So I shot a 1 better. And that ended my time. It's not worth chasing to try to get a 2 better. I'll take the 3rd place win on that. Oh. I like that shot because you can make that ball come at it like a bullet and almost play no break on it. I thought even the 1 stout wind was going to fight the right 2. It's just not quite enough. If you notice, I'm always going this way over the top. You don't even need to high tee it most of the time, but that one I had to play a little cut because the tree was in my way. But now I get a thumb shot in with the driver. Let's try it. It's right there, man. They're right on point. It's so different when I have some feeling in my hand, and it's like it's not feeling like a grind to play. Okay, there's another shot here, and we'll see if we can get it to work. I gotta remember it. I want to say it's right here. Let's try it. Is that it? Do I need to have release on it? I can't remember. There's a way that you could stick that with the straight shot, though. Now, I'm not going to play a ton of these. Guys, anybody got some courses they want to play or see played, man? I don't really want to play events all night. So if anybody wants to send some, I'll play some of that Rustic. Rustic sounds like fun. I mean, let's go. Why don't you guys try to punish me tonight? All right. Good, man. Now, if I'm a guessing man, Adam, I have a feeling that one of the next commercial events is a par 3 and one's a par 5. I just would guess. That's my guess. There's 2 more events left, right, for Worlds? There are no more for home. I think we're done on home. My thoughts is in a match, a par is a good score on it. But in general, there's like 17 different shots you can hit on the hole, and you can't say one's right or wrong. It's a fun hole, though. I mean, we can take a shot at Pine and attack it. I think I actually have a Pine invite to play already. We'll take a look at what ones I have to play after this. Yeah, see, that was similar to the last setup. We had 10 more yards to go. Gina was right. The 10.5 could have gotten there with no tee. It just would have been really close. I want to say I did that. I went right to left. No, wait. What did I do there? I can't remember. I was hurting so bad by that point. I had to shoot. I shot okay. It was bad. Like, I mean, I was one better on tropical the whole way. And then on 18, just my left hand was dead. I thumbed a ball that only went like 70 miles per hour. And that's like, I can't even account for me thumbing that slow. Like, there's something with hitting no pullback shots that once you're below 75 miles per hour, I don't think the distance is linear with the miles per hour on the ball at all. Par 4 with trees in the middle. Ah! Well, Adam, it's nice to see that we had another bracket in there, man. You guys, your support for these things have been unreal. And I'm going to tell you this. Playing in Dallas is going to be harder than playing at Worlds. I mean, you think, guys, the field's going to be tougher. The field was tougher in Dallas than it's going to be there. All right, so 326 again. This one I can't throw all the way out this time because that wind won't allow it to come back. Now, the release may have been a bad idea there, but... William! How you doing, sir? Okay, so this is the other look. Now, we have wind in our face here, though, so I could probably land this one great. Oh, Cape Haven's one of my favorites, Andrew. Okay, but I could probably hit the forward with backspin and get it there and land just right. But let's show you the other shot. So we're going to tee it up to the left. We're going to hit a bite 5. And you got to hit about right there. Ah, nope, I hit it too far left. A little bit farther right. So we'll try it again. I did it again. I'm hitting it too hard. All right, we'll try it one more time. God, I'm going to try with the 6. See, I'm expecting the wind to slow it down. Oh, thank you, Mark. I will get that right now. Pending. Ah, we got a couple. We got some Mouth's Golden Stream. That's going to be a random. We'll play that tonight, Montana. And sorry, in the basement, the GPS doesn't connect as well, so it takes a little bit. Oh, here we go. We got a volcano. And Mark, for you, just for you, I'm going to putt for a double eagle on that course. Just for you. So we tried the 6-wood. I didn't think, yeah, there we go. That's what you want it to do. And it'll hit the left wall, hit the right wall, and trickle out. But we're DNF and we don't need to play that game anymore. So let's take a look at these. Let's see what I got open for you. I kind of feel like gambling, too, a little tonight. And this is probably the best I've felt in a while, man. I feel okay. And Taylor's just helping me so beautifully right now. Oh, we got to play some Chris Brewer. All right. Okay, we can play some Teton, too. But let's take down Gomez's. Let's give him something to shoot for. Mr. Bentley with the 27. Oh, Mike. 22. Gosh, with the A1 Turbo, we were putting on this sometimes. Oh, weak shit. Why did my sound go way down? There we go. All right, pins in the back. Yeah. I gotta say, this course, there were some really good courses. And I'm excited too, because I think I'll get to see some of the new courses when I go up there in January. And I will relay to you guys what I think, but off of just some of the pictures I've seen, I'm thinking this next year of Golden Tee, forget the PGA courses, even though I actually like them. It was kind of fun actually getting to play a course the way it was made and realizing how bad we could dominate the PGA. But I think that this is going to be able to open up all of the free-flowing creative juices that Jim Zielinski possesses to do some crazy shit. Those pictures of Shanghai at night were pretty cool looking. All right, we can't go long here, so we got to put this right here. One of those nights. All right, I like the 6. Not getting aggressive at that pin at all there. If I didn't have bite on that, that actually was pretty aggressive. Hey, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling brand new. All right. Yeah, and okay, that was another thing too he's looking into. The brakes on those screens not going over 2, I don't think it's intended. It's not intended to be that way. I think I don't remember if I told you guys that right away. But it's not intended to be that way, and I think that'll change. So those of you that think that's what the courses are going to be, it's definitely not. And I just don't know how it happened, because when I played casual, I don't remember them being only 2 brake. Maybe they were, though. What I haven't heard anybody posting is how much better the old courses that are using the upscaler that they have in the new game engine, how much better they look. I know that was one of the more impressive things about it. Ooh, Frown, that's interesting. I'd love to see it. That's pretty interesting. All right. So we can't go deep that way this time, so we got to go to the island. So this hole cost me... I lost on this hole in sudden death against Haas the year he won and beat Luna in the finals. And I missed like a 5-yard chip is what happened. In my head, though, I still am the world champ from that year. I still feel it. I feel like I'm a champ. And those of you who are going to be new to Worlds, right? I'm going to tell you right now, if you have the ability to, get your vendor to put a brand new trackball on the machine that you play on, or if you're a home edition player, because that is one of the hardest things you're going to get used to, is to try to be precise with a brand new trackball that isn't worked in. It doesn't have a groove built into it. Guys, it's really hard to be precise on a new trackball. And we're going to be playing on new machines, I'm almost positive. Why do they do what? They're brand new machines. So typically they bring them out. They've already been sold, and they pass them out. You'll find that a TOC too does it. That the machines are brand new because they purchased all brand new machines, that like 3 for each operator kind of thing. All right. I didn't need the bite. But, I mean, a lot of us get there early enough on Friday to bang through it a bit. And if you got good players playing fast on them, a day is all you really need for those trackballs to get broken in. But, man, it is a pain not... Old balls, gross. You know... I know that the year that it was the 2016 at the AMOA. I know me and Brad Litz sat down and we were taking them apart and roughing up the rollers a bit So, that was a special one. Oh Jesus, Corey, I am ready for it, man. I don't know, guys. Has anybody else gotten the holiday spirit yet, man? As much as I'm not gonna, it was either drive 8 hours to Kentucky for my parents or drive 4 hours to Minnesota, and the plan was to go to Kentucky. Dude, I can't be in a car for 8 hours right now. It would hurt too damn bad. So it's gonna be me, the lovely wife Jill, gonna be here. If anybody's bored and wants to come out to Cedar Rapids, more the merrier. Just would need to know ahead of time so I can start getting ready to cook. But otherwise, it's just me and her. I'm doing a ham for ourselves. Mark. Hey, Mark. Hey, Gomez. Gomez, it went in the hole, buddy. I made it. Okay, this hole can go. You got a ton of different looks you can have here. Unfortunately, this is one of the easier ones. Shit. And I'm going to make the easy hole bad. Thanks, Cam. I'm going to miss this now. I knew it. I knew it. Those are that's the kind of chip I missed to lose to Haas and sudden death. All right, we're back to square. Back to square. That was terrible. You're the only one of you. Maybe that's the fun of you. Promise that I'll never really love you like me. I know, Mark. It's almost like I was chipping with a towel. Weird. And there's a lot of mean guys out there. Oh, good. Caesar, I was assuming it did. Okay, Andrew, you should never have to replace it. What I do recommend is, and I have an open ball here? All right, here. Oh, okay, so this is the bad one. This was the year of the trackballs that they changed from copper tape to these copper clips, right? It sounds like a solid idea. The problem is with the copper clips, it actually, that little bit of space in the plastic of the trackball, I would shatter the casing within 3 games on any of the balls with the copper clips in it, because it had a little space in that there, and just that little bit of bow just ruined the durability of it. But you shouldn't have to, right? Oh. They should all be 55-inch TVs. And here was this is an interesting thing I saw today that I didn't realize, and I had to ask Adam because I thought this was kind of screwed up. Anybody that bought a home edition that's shipping now, you're getting the same hardware as the PGAs have in it, almost identical. They cannot find the best hardware, the stuff that's in like these home editions. I want to say those were. Man, that casing, that one was old. I want to say that was like 2012 to 2014 they were doing that on those balls. They went away from it pretty quick because I wasn't the only one. But I remember Russ shipped me 6 balls because I was at the Marcade. I was using power vending machines. He sent me 6 balls. Within a day, I had shattered the casing on 5 of them. Now, luckily, I had older casings that I ended up switching everything into. But, like, literally, I knocked the trackball, the physical ball, through one of them. Now, since then, though, I mean, I've obviously toned it down. I don't hit nearly as hard. My game's a full-on finesse game these days. All right, I said I'm gonna putt for double eagle. Oh, it is. Take it all in, Cam. Play everything. Don't get too focused on Vegas. Come if we're warm enough. I know Puff and I will get a cabana again and be out at a pool somewhere. So if it's warm enough, then come and join us and come and drink some beers on Friday. That might be Thursday, actually. I might have to go Thursday now. I got to look at flights. Do I dare? That's close. I don't think I can get this there. Justin, if I were you, everybody thinks the gambling part and drinking stuff's the best part of Vegas. No, the best part is shows. It's playing, it's going to shows, man. The shows out there are extremely fun. And I tell you what, my best times in Vegas, except for the Super Bowl one we went, Tickner did it up. We had a great time for that. My best times in Vegas are always going and seeing shows. I think I've seen the Michael Jackson circuit. Oh, cool. No, I know. I think I did the Michael Jackson. I've done the Michael Jackson 1 Cirque du Soleil show 3 times now. It's fantastic, but I would go to see Beatles, the Beatles Love one. That's been my favorite one. I think Watches Myself and Paige, and I forget who else went with us. Saw O, and we were like, eh. Okay, here. Well, I really don't unground any of that, because it is a ground. The whole thing's in series to ground everything, right? Where you put the 2 screws front. Ooh, David Spade would be fun. Why did I just murder that? Whoopsie, I hillbilly ripped that thing. All right, good shot. How close was that? That wasn't that far off. Well, that hurts. Well, I mean, ask Lemon. Lemon had to take off his shirt. I forget the name of the Carnival Court, right? The outdoor bar in between 2 casinos. Yeah, that was probably still my favorite night in Vegas. And then ending up back at the suite at Trump. Dude, that was a crazy night, guys. Like, that could have been like the Hangover movies. That's kind of what happened to Lemon. Some crazy lady made him take off his shirt, and then she followed. Okay, this is where I like the new game engine. Dude, when we played this live, there was no exploding volcano here, man. That was bad. This is ugly, guys. Okay, so I have no shot to the left right now because everything with the height that I need, with the distance I need, is going to clip a tree. So we have to go around to the right. And this is not a fun shot. I made it my bitch. I made that shot my bitch. Yeah, that hole got me. It cost me. I had an easy putt. I was down by 1 against Fox, and he had a turbo putt from the bottom that if it missed the cup, it was over the edge, and he drained it. Oh, there we go. Wow, guys, listen to Mike. He's from there. He lives there. We got some friends out there too. Andrew Russell, you chimed in too. He's out there as well. Guys, there are just stories upon stories upon stories from that night. We got cocktails and dick. It's not a gay bar. It's just a place for guys who like dick. All right, so this one we gotta play this last one out here. We're trying to help Mr. Farmer Frank get himself tuned up. Disneyland was born there. I still so before we went out and got all crazy, we get done with Worlds and we got Leppy, Rock, and Gervais and a group of about 10 of us. And oh, dude, this is bad. But we had. So we're fucking with some street performer, and we're trying to get Leppy Rock to let us do a makeover on him, and he wouldn't do it. So we all threw in $100, and we walk into the casino. And we put it down on one hand of blackjack, right? Yeah, no. But the worst part of this is that I think we pulled 2 8s, and nobody wanted to put any more in. So King and I split it, and then we have to double it down. And we lost all the hands, like every hand. It was bad. And so, I mean, we were down. We doubled it down, and then we split it, so that made it like 1,500 each. It was bad. I mean, I lost most of my winnings on that one hand of blackjack. But it was an epically fun night, though. We had a great time. And I kind of want to have that kind of fun again. That was by far my most fun Worlds. It was the most fun one. 2008 was a little bit different because we had the World Team versus the Team USA too. So that was a different atmosphere. And there was a lot more people. Like there were 400 people there playing. Now 24 of us were already qualified for being on Team USA or Team World. But I still get to talk to a couple of the guys from that World Team. Miko, if you're watching, I love you, brother. Bad blood. Let's let this ball run. Yeah, it didn't pay out, though. That sucked. That 15 guys thing was not great. I somehow think King ended up taking my part of it, though, and like didn't make me pay. He tries to do that shit sometimes, where he doesn't let you pay for your mistakes. What? It was. Okay, now there's another part of this too. So I ended up winning CTTP, right? And I aced hole 8 on Jackrabbit Junction to knock Oliver out. And if I didn't ace that shot, he would have beat me, which would have meant that he would have gone farther than Dave in the tournament, and Dave wouldn't have gotten that CTTC spot. Yeah, that was awesome, man. It was hard to duplicate. That stupid son of a bitch Andy Haas wouldn't have won again. I've never said that before, Frown. Normally 15 guy thing was awesome. Corey, that is amazing, and that is great work. I love it. You will never see me go to the strip ever again on this hole. Okay, so... Well, last year they didn't even do CTTP. It kind of pissed me off because I was reigning champ and I wanted a chance to defend the title. The 3 Club event, I think, it's a great event, but it was a really bad timing because you don't make us. I mean, you don't want to show the best players in the world on ESPN shooting like 4 unders, dude. I thought it was but honestly, the 3 Club event was great. I just hope I get to defend my CTTP crown. That's all. Because as of right now, I'm the reigning world champion of CTTP. I took it from Steve Bailey. I own the belt. It's it. It's mine. And there's less people that can say they were the CTTP world champion than there are world champions. But the last time we had... So they took the best score on each qualifier course, and that person got to play with somebody random from the crowd. And if that person hit a hole-in-one, both people got $1,000 or something. If they were inside... So I ended up getting a... I was playing terrible, and I wasn't playing a ton of tee, but then I put up a 33 on Sandhill. I was 5 better at one point. I missed one shot. It was crazy. I was like, whoa. And I was playing with a living legend in Dean Leakakis. Well, okay, so my win on it, though, the first guy I played... Adam, I'll go back to that in a second, but the first one I played Larry Hodgson first round. Well, it was kind of crazy. I felt bad, but I steamrolled him. I smoked him. Actually, I think I had an ace in every round, if I remember right. Oh, yeah. And don't worry, we're going to get to play CTDP. You're right, we did. The 3 Club, there was that other last chance thing. Yeah, I had to play Rick. I played Rick Copperthorne first in the main bracket. Now, if you guys see with the new tee boxes, I only like to go to the right side of this. When we have the newer tee boxes, I go out to the fairway. But from this look, this is all you can. This is money. Banned? I don't know anybody that's banned from all the casinos. I know that Haas signed something to physically ban himself from, I believe it's all Caesars properties. More power to you, man. If you recognize you have a gambling problem and you have to do that, then do it, man. Oh, shit! I remember in 2008 we were trying to go to dinner and like all the places we found to eat. Oh, absolutely. If anybody wants to send those as an invite, I really would prefer to play them as only invites. I still don't trust the non-prize play part of this, that we're getting the setups the same and that everything's right. I still just can't trust it. Gavin, I gotta say, Duncan was perfect in Richmond. I haven't seen him otherwise because he's not allowed at the bar in Florida. And he didn't go to Dallas either. But I mean, I'm all for second chances. What is that? The feminine hygiene spray? I mean, let's be honest, guys. None of us are perfect. I had to be given second chances to be where I'm at today, even though the first chance was bullshit to begin with. But nonetheless, he's got a chance to grow as well. I know, guys. It sounds weird when I say stuff like that. It feels weird a little bit too, but growth, I guess, is what you're calling it these days. All right, so we just gave him a little one better action. Oh my God. I knew I was going to do that once I said it. Oh well. Wait. Caruso? What the hell are you... Caruso... Goat or just MVP? I don't know who you're talking about. Why am I not recognizing this? Goat at what? For the Bulls? To be quite frank, I hadn't had a chance to watch many Bulls games lately. Okay, yeah. But so what did he do? Did he do something fantastic? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking that he did. I thought he was out too. Did he just coming back? What is it, tonight's game? You're saying? All right, we're going to show you a fun shot on this course again, too. But if anybody wants to send me some of those Shady Tundra and Black Hills invites, I'm all for it. Now, you can understand when you say Caruso for MVP or GOAT, I got to think, like, what is he talking about? Okay, good. A solid pickup. I didn't know a lot about him when we picked him up. Honestly, you can't say many bad things about what the Bulls are doing right now. I mean, they are a legit contender. DeRozan just impressive as shit. And he never really impressed me that much before. Oh. Ultra. I said it before. I said it before that landed in. So that counts as me calling an ultra. This is one of the rare ones that's an ultra that wasn't a terrible shot. Phone, it's a dear friend, she's upset, going off about something that you said. Get your humor like I do. Oh, get it, Taylor. Love it. Do the kind of music she doesn't like. I do. Oh. Wears short skirts, I wear t-shirt. She's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers. I can't thumb this and I want to. So we're gonna smoothie this in there. I didn't need the release. I'm gonna putt this even though I probably shouldn't. You belong to me. All right, interesting hole here. So that tells me that these clubs should stay under the top tree, but go over the low arm. That can light up this whole town. I haven't seen it since you calmed her down. With a girl like that. Okay. Now, this bag of clubs, I carry the Zero Hybrid for one shot, right? Oh, no, you can never have too much. So I got to be careful because a lot of times I would have just dumbed myself down to that's a 3-wood. Do I have a tree? No, we're okay. Hidden by your back door. You belong with me. Okay, that looks good. This is one of those nights, guys. I feel like my game might be really sharp. Well, now I'm using it for a second shot. See the one. So that hole is the other hole it can come into play on. But really, it's only there for one shot. And I've shown you guys before. We're going to try to show you again if it's there. In and out your back door. You belong with me. Okay, now, yeah, I don't like this. I hate the thumb 6. Okay, so Gomez said it earlier. I have it on a really high setting tonight because the internet was good. I can change it down and we won't have any problems if there's others having that experience. Let's see if YouTube's telling me anything, that it's saying any problems. Let's see. Yeah, YouTube's giving me an excellent connection, so I wonder if it's just because I got it too high for you. But I mean, that's one of the first things when we're seeing the internet bobbling all over the place. I'll end up I'll drop it down to where it's only like 3 upload per second, 3 megabytes uploaded a second, and then I drop it down to 720. William, a lot of that is determined to me. I use the top of the screen as a border, and then everything else is a judgment call. So for me, a 5-wood will, when I hit a 5-wood, it barely leaves the top of the screen, right? And that's going to be the point that I'll decide to change, if I have to change after that. You probably can, yes. That's going to be the best way for me to describe it. A lot of it is because of feel, though, and you just learn what does it. What you need to be cognizant of, though, is that backspin goes much higher than bite, which goes much higher than no spin, which goes much higher than release, which goes much higher than roll. So it follows physics to a T. And that's an absolute fact now. We've proven that over and over again. I don't even care what the meter says, if it even says a different height. Yeah, it can fail you, but the top of the screen is what I'm using for it. And it's also why... No, the top before I look up. So that's one of the reasons I have a real issue when machines that aren't set on the proper settings to have the screen. I don't care if it's too small on the screen and you have a border, but when it's zoomed in too many clicks, it changes my basis on how I'm making all my calculations. Now, this is why you carry the zero hybrid. And again, it did it. Stop. So the stouts make that shot not die as much. I caught that fucking... And it ain't me. All right, what do we got here? Yeah. All right, I want to low T this, but I'm not going to. I'm glad I didn't. But find a visual reference feel for what club gets to that edge of the screen. For me, I use the 5-wood, and then I can guarantee if the object is inside of the screen, with a 5-wood, I'm going over it. All right, that's what I know. Does it mean a 4-wood won't? Not always. Sometimes you can get a 4-wood over those too. But the 5-wood is so, and then it's more of a guessing game using years of experience to make an educated guess. But the 5-wood will clear the top of the screen. So if the 5-wood does, you know that the 6 is going over that same shot as well. So I missed one shot. That's a little disappointing. Now the O hybrid can be really good on this shot too. But we got a lot of options here. I could go, so now, also, you have to remember your spatial recognition too, because it might be. So that tree is right at the top of the screen, but it's a lot further out than where the apex of the shot would be. So that might not absolutely clear it. So that's at the end of my ball marker. If that tree was a lot closer at that same height, then yes. So there's going to be some spatial recognition that you're going to have to get used to too. Yeah, well, Ultra, and then that other one's really not bad. So, I mean, technically, God, that one was there, though. So, yeah, I'm clean. I'd call this clean. But I could go with it. I could go with the 8.5 driver, medium T. I could low T this and bounce it across. You could come around from this side. But really, today, with that wind big in my face, look, my 5-wood is going to carry to 300 typically. On a high T, so with the wind pushing back in my face, I can max this out, and I'm not going to fly the green. So I just have to get this on line. And then the down 8, it's going to bring it closer. A 4-wood would have given me a better chance to make it, but also brings the sides of the hole more into play. Yeah. God, I still am amazed when I look back. So the year for Worlds of this is the one we were talking about where the 32 of us were at AMOA. I ended up being the 1 seed, but what it went by for the seeding was your world ranking for that month. And dude, I put together an insane month. I 33'd Winding. I 33'd Oakwood. Not Oakwood. What's the Hawthorne? I 33'd. What's the other one that's like Hawthorne? I got to look at the names of these now. But the other one, Elkhorn. The only one I didn't have a 33 on was Volcano, and I had a 32 there. And on the 32, I aced that par 5 that I watered. It was a crazy year, and then I don't get rewarded for having I didn't get a bye, but the 4 seed did. That's why that world championship is it's up for grabs, man. I still think that if Haas doesn't get a bye in the first round, I don't think he wins Worlds. When you have that many equal competitors, playing one less round doubles your chances of winning the event. And I now understand what Stu Fox is going through too, because there are days that I wake up and I'm contemplating telling IT, all right, oh, he was the 3 seed, my bad. Whatever, he was lower than me. But I was never mad at Stu. I just was like, fuck, that sucks, dude. What? There's been days that I've woken up thinking, like, I got to tell IT I'm going to have to get back surgery and I can't compete. But a day like today, I feel pretty gosh darn good. It was a Travis mockery, though, not to give me a bye. I'm still very upset with that. I still remember getting a call from Adam Kramer and his voice when he started about to tell me, because he could just tell every word that was coming out of his mouth. I was getting redder and redder. I was pissed. I think I still have every right to be. I feel like World Championships was stolen from me. But already, though, there's going to be at least two on-site entries. So, I mean, do it, dude. Put it this way: the most expensive, closest to the pin contest I've ever seen. I played women back-to-back in the finals. So it's a game that anybody can win. Now, one of them happened to have well, I don't know if she did at that point, but she now has the last name of Kinsler. And the other one was a girl who had never touched a machine before. So, I mean, good. If they can do it, Adam, you can. Oh my God, the holdouts are coming in droves tonight. It feels good, guys. The thumbs are feeling good. I'm feeling good. I hope you guys are feeling good. Christmas is one of my favorite times of year. I need some snow on the ground, though. Do it. What I've learned about that is I want to stay where we're at. There can be too many things that go wrong in Vegas for me that I want to just make everything as simple as possible. So I don't care if I had a free room somewhere else. I'm going to stay at where the event is in Vegas. I hated it when we had it at the 1UP Arcade. It was a pain in the ass to get to. It was so far off the strip. I mean, the machines weren't put to work. They didn't even put the machines together completely. That pissed me off. I still remember hitting my first shot and watching the monitor turn 90 degrees, like, and have the poles all torqued up. Honestly, that's a World Championships. I think they should forget they ever did. Every other one I've been to has been fantastic. We've had a blast. That one there pissed me off. That was just it was a bad experience. And being jam-packed into a 1UP Arcade for World Championships, I was like, what is this trash? Ooh, ooh, that's what people say. Ooh, ooh. Can't stop, won't stop moving. I think this is another holdout, guys. I don't know why. I just feel like it's going in. Oh, I had the line. Well, hey, Mr. Hugan, how you doing, man? Another World Championship qualifier joins the room. Now, wait, I saw Eddie in here to start. Why isn't he qualified for World? Eddie DeSimone. He would be one of my guys. He'd be one of my horses, I think. As I go, moves up as I go. Uh-huh. I keep cruising, can't stop. Do remember, guys, there is no qualifier this week or the next, and then it kicks back in at the new year. Play, play, and the haters gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake it. I'm still waiting for a Caesar comment about me singing. All right, if we had an outwind here, this is drivable. It's a C3 from here, and it turbos down that hill and will ramp the bunkers. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's a really simple thing to do once you figure out how you're going to hit the ball at that speed straight. I can't do two thumbs that way. So Eddie giving me the one thumb approach is boom. To the further over there. Shit, I got it against Grover in the first round of Player of the Year. It was perfect speed, but it was so scary because the machine was kind of glitching a little bit. And it just looked like it stopped, and then like 2 seconds later, 2,500 points drops. So I was like, woo! Obviously, it didn't mute me. I don't like this. I don't want to high tee this. I really don't. Yes. Nope. Too much club. That's the right one. $18 wind. Now, is an 18 wind enough to get the distance on the 6 wind to be right? I don't think it is. I think I need to pull this back. I was right. No, Eric, it's an ironic nickname, man. They gave it to me because I'm really shy and demure and quiet. I sit in a corner and I don't talk to anybody. I knew I was going to do that, you dumb fuck. I've been having that issue with putting lately, not getting it out enough on all of the breaker. All right, I mean, okay, now here's the problem, right? This is the biggest problem. This isn't lined up at the hole. And guys, I talked to Adam about this, and he assured me of one thing and this one being another, because we got down the process of talking about speed of play, and he's saying that the layout on the new machines, once everyone gets used to it, he thinks that the games will go by even faster. Okay, cool. If that's your goal with the layout, I can get behind that. I don't like the layout at all. I'll get used to it. It's still me hitting the trackball. I just hate that the other things are in play while I'm doing it. But And once we were talking about speed of gameplay, I said, well, do you know one thing that probably slows down Golden Tee more than anything is that you don't aim at the target on anything but par threes. Everything else is aimed at some obscure place on the fairway. So I have a feeling that these won't be offset all the time. The other thing that he assured me of, and this better come to fruition because I've been yelling about this for years, the daily scores are going to be removed from the worldwide records for anything but the daily. That is such a big positive to me. And the way I described it, do you know how many people I've had games played next to me where the people are like, oh, I can't, there's no way I can shoot a 37 under on this scores. Well, guess what? No one can. Because it's bullshit. It's not a real score. And I mean, am I the only one that doesn't think it's fun to see JoJo's name almost every time on every record? Because every course will be a daily at some point in time? That's just me. My opinion. Yeah, it is going to happen. Adam guaranteed that to me. He made that guarantee, and I think we're going to stick with it. All right, did anybody send an invite for one of those courses? Let's see what we got. Ooh. Let's see. Do we have a handicap? Pending. 2. Who are they? Easy. Easy. Oh, Brad, we're going random. I bet your random is going to come up with something nice. If GPS would find me down here. Oh, and we're going to see if Farmer Frank gets a play. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that still won't change, and it's what I've been telling myself I was going to do. She is amazing. You are right, Jordan. Jordan, you have so many right things. You're right most of the time. I like it. Ooh, I can play some Sunny. Let's do some Sunny. Yeah, and the problem is, Adam, you can then treat it like a daily. What's wrong with you, Eddie? Why can't you play? Goddamn rain. Kevin, it's a style of gameplay that a lot of us don't like. I can do it too. But dialing in fulls is it's a talent for sure, but it takes a different kind of mentality that I don't like to do it. Ah. I mean, I'm not even going to say that JoJo is even better than what Haas was in his prime. But those scores are only coming off of playing the daily. So it's the same look over and over and over again. And it's just not, it's a different kind of game. It's a different style. I mean, I'm not as good. It would take me more games, but I can get to the numbers that he can get to. It's just he does it better. Yeah, it can even now when PGA comes out, I think JoJo's going to get some more competition. because the people like myself who wouldn't want to who don't want to take notes, we're going to have a grid on our tee box in order to actually dial things in perfectly. And to be honest, I think they need to take that away until PGA is the only platform that's out there, because that is an unfair advantage for anybody playing multiple player games or even not in a regular contest. That grid breaks it down too much. So right now, what we're doing, some people will even put a piece of paper on the screen and write it down there, like put it on the corner and mark where they put something. But like if I was doing fulls, I can use the squares, the grid, the squares that are cut there. Although you can't really see them as well on here, but I could say, okay, I put it right there on that square. I can put the ball in that same spot, and by hitting the shots like this, 2 turns, a full cut, well, that's going to be the same every time. That full cut is easy to match. And then it's just hitting it straight to 2 or hitting it to the right spot of 2. And most of the time with that, you've got about a 3-mile-per-hour variance you could have and still have it go in. So you're basically making the game down to really the line on your thumbs. And you can get it almost precise. You can get it almost exact. It's a skill in itself to be able to manage the game like that. Oh. Really? That's kind of cool, though. You to take my hand, that's your plans, that's my man. Yeah, and guys, those grid lines would, without even seeing them ever, I could use them to dial in. Like right now, when I've never played with them. They weren't there when I got to test the machine. Great idea for a future. You know what would be cool? If they only put the grid lines on the PGA courses, so that as a tutorial and get used to it. That would be kind of unique. Come back around like a 90s trend. Case. So far, there hasn't been a shot that it really required much tutelage on. Everything here has been wide open so far. That's my man. Thank you, though. All right, this can be a little tricky to get the speed right on this. If you guys don't know, the 3-wood is that one club that you can always hit way more than the distance. Or if you play 2-player game. So Adam, what I would do at home, I would just play a 4-player game, and for glory contests. And since you can skip turns in that, I can easily make myself be the top scorer on every course every month. It wouldn't be that hard, but it would be boring as shit, and I'd want to kill myself doing it. I can't do the daily the way they do. I find that to be more time consuming. I'd rather go in, shoot a 1 better, walk away. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yes. Do I want to hit this, or do I want to hit a 3-wood? I think I like the 3-wood here. I think I needed the... Okay, this is an interesting thing to learn. Well, I don't think that turbo putts exist anymore, and by every piece of data I've collected, there's only one spot at like 130 feet where you have an increase to the norm of miles per hour per foot, right? It's only a little bit more. It does turbo, and I have rolled over using that without C-putting it. But this is a 36-yard putt. I'm in the heavy rough. This is a putt. I've got a gap between me and the green, but I'm in the air. So I'm higher than the hole, so the heavy rough shouldn't make any difference here. This should come out clean, and this should get to the hole if I'm thinking right. I don't remember if I tried a heavy rough one of these since the change in putting, but we'll see right now. Perfect. Caesar, I'm willing to bet you $1,000 that it gets there. Now, this hole, you got a couple different shots. If you can get this ball to go far enough, you have a shot underneath the tree line. If you cannot, you're going to want to hit a C3 from here, in here somewhere, maybe move it right, hit it. But you want to get it to the base of the first row of trees so you can play the tree branches on the second one. Today, we've got a look that I can just bomb this ball straight. Now, you got to carry 5 hybrid, 4 iron in order to stay under the trees because the 5 iron will hit under the trees on the second shot. But now I got a thumb 4 iron in. Like, this is a chance to make a shot. Now, you can leave this one at the fairway over here, and you'll have no trees in the way, but it's going to be a long poke. If I put it here, I've still got 300 something in, and with the shape of the screen, you don't want to be coming in with a low-lofted club. You want to be able to plop something down. So I got enough distance with the high tee that I can just go to the other fairway. And I caught the fucking branch. That didn't hit a branch. I'm sorry. Yeah, guys, that's outside of that branch. Whatever. Okay, so I lose a stroke there on bullshit. That was outside of the tree. I should know better, especially on older courses. I think that the objects are bigger than they appear. I just got to think. I mean, probably wrong on that being old courses that do it more, but I think if they haven't changed the rendering on an old item, which they had to have, I'm thinking, but who knows? I needed a 10.5. Fuck! But that's the goal on that shot, to hit the branch. I hit it too. I hit the wrong one, though. Okay, heavy rough. We're going to hit a 9. I did it again. I'm shooting. I'm shafting him off to the side all of a sudden now that Eddie's here. I wanted to show him how good I'd gotten with it. And all of a sudden, I think I'm a little bit tweaked out on caffeine today. That's all. Enough. Uh-oh, that's tough. Ooh. What do we got here? Getting back together. Guys, this is in. I think this is going in. I didn't see a way that I couldn't make it. Getting back together. This whole 18 is one of the hardest ones I've seen. It still gets me a little bit. I mean, look at that. We got to land at 313 with a left 9, so I can't technically land this by the pin. I almost have to go long with this. And it's into a 17. My God. Without stouts, this is not easy. All right, we're going to float a high T 3-wood in. I didn't play the wind enough, apparently. Wow, that thing turned a ton. Never ever. This course can be really fucking challenging. I mean, I got the extra holes, and look at that back 9. That's really bad, man. Yeah, we go to Vark.tech, guys. Check it out, man. Dulcia would love your support. Dulcia, like and subscribe, please. I mean, honestly, I've seen that name in here a couple times. I think it's time to just block that person. Bye, YouTubers. All right, that's the first time I blocked. That's the first person I've ever blocked, I think. I accidentally blocked Sandmeyer one time, and it took Richard and I days to figure out where he was blocked from. Like, we couldn't figure out what part it was blocking him from. All right, we got an easy money here. Let's get it. All right, not drivable. Can we get it up close for a chush? Ooh. I don't think chushing in the rain would totally mess everything up. You would just have to play up a club, but I don't think I would be able to get it close enough to the bunker and still have the height on my chush to get it over it. Weak. Oh my God! All right, this is gonna take 2 bombs. Dar, it's the burning of your very first year. Yeah, the rain is so brutal. I hope they either bring it back or take it away completely. Now that the hardware limitations won't be there, I think they could bring it back. My guess wouldn't be until later in the game. Now, it's a good way to get vendors to update. Like, if you put rain on courses and players won't play these old machines that are pieces of shit because they wouldn't be able to handle it. Love you, you're gonna believe it. 15. All right, fun hole. Did I change it? Is my bag the right one? No. So I have to hit the 10.5. That 8.5 will not. If you hit it hard enough to get over the wall and hit short, it bounces too hot and will clear the green. With the 9.5, you can basically pull back and thumb right through that gap and stick this. Right now, we're gonna hit this. I might catch the green on a fly, but it's not gonna be a very close shot. Okay, that's okay though. I forgot to change my bag on the course. And now wow. Okay, I didn't know this ball would stay here. Nice birdie, Marc. And the night ends. Now, this hole can be drivable sometimes. You might not understand it, but when you get the ball all the way at the front with an outwind, you can hit an A1 from here. And while it might not be easy to get it to the green, you can definitely put it in the bunker and have a short chip. You could do that with an A1 or a C3, but it's still a challenge either way you look at it. All right, so we got a little dampness on the green, so this ball's going to stop faster than it normally would. The first hole after the rain physically stops, you have a damp green. The ball doesn't fly as well on it. Putt's normal, but it doesn't roll through as much. So you can be a little bit more aggressive. I'm still going to bite this. All right, we got. All right, T-box is too small to fight. Use the T-box to fight the wind, so there's not a real sense of using it. Oh, that guy, he's gone. You gone, sir. See you later, brother. Blocked. But I'm going to low tee this, so I'm going to move it a little bit. You're gonna believe it. 15 out. Oh, yeah. Always backspin this tee shot, or else it's just going to plug, right? It won't bounce as far as you want. So did the A1, but backspin it. All right, this wind's gonna. So when I'm playing stouts and I got these very big elevation change, I just pretend this is a 5 wind, a full 5 wind. So let's see the distance there. Okay, that 5 wind probably wouldn't turn it that much. So we're gonna go. God, this is ugly. We'll go from here. We're gonna snap thumb it back left. Now, guys, there's always something, too, when you're watching your opponent on the shot meter, right? So let's say you were playing behind me. We're in a match. This will be really good for you people going to Worlds, because a lot of people don't pay attention to this. So if you notice that I thumb that at 99, and if you pay attention, my thumbs are rarely into the 90s. 90, 92 is going to be the top end of my thumbs typically when I really dig into it. But then you see me hit a 99 and you're like, oh, he really manned up on that. No. Remember, there's a multiplier on the ball as you go towards outside. It gets incrementally higher. So technically, I hit it 99 right between the 1 and the 2. That's like an 87 straight. So don't let that trick you while you're following your opponents in a match. And I know there's a lot of people that don't want to watch their opponents. Al just says it all the time. Bullshit. Golden Tee, you need to get as much information from your opponent as possible. It's how you're going to score better. So if you see me thumb a shot and aim way directionally, you know you have to turn that down a notch if you're not going to aim that far out. You're going to think, okay, that 99, it multiplied that. It gave him an extra 15 miles per hour on that. He actually hit that 84. Or just know that it's not as hard as you think it is. But get that info, man. Especially you guys going to Worlds. Get every piece of info you can. I don't care if they're not playing the same equipment as you. The only thing that you can't really gauge from is if you're playing stouts and they're playing a different ball, you almost can't really follow what they're doing at all, because their cuts are going to have to be bigger than yours. So you can get an idea on if they're playing Titans and you see a ball carry really far on it, your ball's going to carry the same farthest on it. Like if you have a nominal wind and their shot went an extra 20 yards than what you think, well, yours is probably going to go an extra 20 yards than what you think too. That kind of information is good. But otherwise, you can't really get too much out of that. Like that. I screwed that up. I'm playing stouts right now. And honestly, there is zero reason not to play stouts right now. I mean, we're taking half of one of the factors away. It makes the game easier. And technically, you're not losing anything from it. Backspin is normal. You may think the distance is less, but actually, once you get a wind of 8 miles per hour in your face, they're the longest balls in Golden Tee that aren't a specialty ball. 8 miles per hour will make streaks go shorter than stouts. The only ball that can overpower you is arrows, but you'll never, if you're in a match against somebody with arrows, just be patient because they're going to fuck up. They're going to fuck up. So if you're playing somebody that's playing arrows against you, just play your game. Put the ball center of the green. Yeah, streaks can be great too, but you're trading your extra distance for a little bit less spin, and you're playing full wind. But there are going to be a lot of shots in Golden Tee that I'm going to hit it further than you because I'm playing stouts. There's only one course in Golden Tee that I can justify that streaks may have an advantage on, and that's Castleshire. You can have a potential 4 holes that streaks can get there and stouts can't. But in the same respect, you can also have those same 4. You can have 2 of those holes line up to where streaks can't get there and stouts can. So you're going to have to make your judgment call. This is rare to ever go here because you're not able to go long and straight over the top of this all the time. Normally, you're playing it off to the center of this island. It's still heavy rough, but you can clear the wall Today, though, this is kind of special. I'm just going to bang out an A1. You incredible things. That's rare that happens. Yeah, you're not going to see many people on the top of a leaderboard that aren't playing stouts right now. I mean, honestly, the best at Golden Tee. So possibly Eric, but honestly, with PGA, if you really want to make those courses your bitch, play arrows, because you can have thumb shots on almost every shot, so you're not worried about having a pullback straight. And then if you can get your pullback straight on your tee shots, you're going to be able to bomb some shit. Now, put it this way. I only got to play it with stock, and I shot better than par all 3 times I played it. Now, obviously, that was casual settings, but I don't think the scores are changing. Yeah, honestly, if you're going to play those courses competitively, I haven't gotten a look at them from the prize play tee boxes, but it seems to me like it's a no-brainer. And I'll write your name. Lips, crystal sky, I control you. All right, what do we got here? All right, we can low tee the 9 and cut it in, but let's come up and show you the shots that you don't always have to hit and you can. So then those are a lot of shots that I would be hitting at with, I mean, that's a straight 9.5 driver for 410 with high tee. I got a feeling you're going to see this. Okay, so you got a couple options here. Now, one of the tee boxes has a dramatic drop right on the front right. I think it's the one up top. This one doesn't. So even with the low T9, the trees are in play. Now, you can do a bunch of different things. You can... I'm trying to remember how I did you can go straight through this. I think I would always hit a hammered 8 straight through it. It clips a tree and gets up. Yeah, I do. I have these ones here. I got these Painter Jim ones. That I'll use that to dry it off, and then this is straight 99% rubbing alcohol, so it's isopropyl. That's all I ever use on it to clean it. Couple squirts, wipe it down, good. I mean, this one is lined up not to hit the other shots, though, guys. I really kind of have to do this one. But am I still going to hit the top of the tree with a low 9? We're going to get it outside of that first branch just to be sure. So we're going to full see it. Wow. Wow, I didn't think that was going to go long. Yep. And then now I don't recommend doing this if it's not your machine either, but you'll sometimes get some spots on the deck that have worn different or something spills on, something got on it. And then I'll take, this isn't the one I used for this, I was actually sanding something else, but I'll get the finest grit sponge like this and kind of polish in circles like a little Miyagi type thing on it to make the deck get back to smooth again. It can leave some residual things on it, but it actually goes away if you're not using too grit of a paper on it. And it takes away any of those rough spots or imperfections. And as much as they don't affect you, but you'll occasionally get that rough spot that is sticky or you just hate the feel of it. And I want my hand to glide through the deck. I believe this hole's got some Golden Tee history behind it. The last World Championship that Kins won, going against Enzo Polidori, he ended up holding this out to win the match, and then they both stuck 18 and he won the match. So there's a good history to this hole. Now, that was also where The world team played their guys through to the finals, and Team USA played their guys. And I'm going to say the world team has never been as good as the Team USA. They got a lot better over the years, and they've had some limitations because they don't get the courses as early as we do. Now they don't have a world team anymore. Coming back, though, guys, get excited. That's one of my biggest excitements. Wow, I just lost this game. That was terrible. I've lost this game. That was so easy. That was a really bad score for that course. It just ate my lunch. Well, Montana, get your win. Take it down, brother. All right. What do we... All right, let me get one of these tropicals. Let me beat Chris Brewer real quick. Okay, pin's kind of deep today. So we got to put this as close as we can to that edge if I want to church this. I want to get in that first cut. Okay, 56. So 20% of the club, that gets me 56. That would give me 58. But 58, it's going to be 20% at like 38, 39. I'm always chushing at the lowest end. 9.5, 300. That's close. That with release probably gets there. God damn it. I'm clicking my thumb to the... I'm fucking it up right now, guys. God damn it. So this hole... This is a great hole to define why the height changes. Okay. So 9.5 with no tee, with no height on it or no spin, will not get over the trees, the low trees. 9.5 with backspin gets over the trees. 10.5 with backspin brings the bottom of the top trees way into play. 10.5 with no tee on it, no spin at all, stays under the trees and gets over it. So on this shot, I'm going to hit a 10.5 with no spin. The problem with hitting no spin on this is that when you hit no spin into a sloped hill, it bounces almost like how it would bounce, like, I mean, like a 45-degree angle off of it, kind of. It takes the opposite of the angle coming into the and puts you that way. So, but with bite on this shot, it hits the hill and kind of stays on the same path. So here, I need to overcut this that I want to if I hit this with no spin. And we're going to try that. And I did overcut it, but I overcut it too much, but that works. I'm okay with that. If I'm on the green, good. Off the green, bad. Ah, shit. All right. Now, the low T9 wood is still long on this shot, so we're going to bite it. I'll take the points on that. But the low T9 wood is one of those ones that doesn't kill your distance enough to use it like low T release, like I like to do in a lot of par 3s with the irons. The low T almost doesn't even slow it down hardly at all with a 9. Oh, that's a gem of a pin. Let's just plop this thing down right next to it. Why, you are welcome, Aiden. But World Championship caliber players do not need tutelage, sir. You're ready to go. Oh, we plopped it down just how we wanted to. And really, Aiden, if you've noticed it, in case anybody hasn't noticed, okay, yeah, I've learned some intricate bullshit about the game, but guess what? It doesn't mean anything. Because you can't apply that to everything. So what I do is I take anything that I learn and try to dumb it down like I'm teaching my girlfriend how to play or my wife. And I tell you what, that way has improved my game quite a bit just because, guys, if you're thinking about too much shit, you're still getting away from the feel of everything. So as long as I break it down to its basic components, the game becomes a lot simpler. Yeah, you can have all of the knowledge in the world, but it's hard to apply everything on every shot, so it's almost not worth having that. That was a really short layup. God damn, this is not going to be an easy shot. Now when I cut, can I do a cut here and throw it out? yeah, I did. He gets. I don't like this. Yes, the wife does know about the girlfriend. She's called this. I think she thinks that Mouth is my girlfriend, actually. But she's actually, I mean, if you guys can see, that bitch can thumb a little bit. For somebody who don't do anything with gold, she can come down here blind, not playing in 6 months, and thumb a ball at the hole. It's kind of fun to watch. I was scared to cut that anymore. Yeah, I left myself a shitty putt. Okay, let's talk about another part of this, right? An up two putt. Okay, so we're assuming that this is dead straight. Let's look at this. Let's look at what people do here, though. So I turn left once, and it's a left one, okay? If I go to the right, it's no break. It's not a left one. So what is that telling me? That's telling me that there's less than a half a degree break moving the ball right to left. Okay, now, if this was a shorter putt, it doesn't matter. But being that this is a putt that's 88 feet, the ball should barely get to the hole. So that half a degree might make this miss. So how do you play a half a degree? Well, you kind of can't. You just got to go for the right edge. You got to be on the right edge of the hole. That's really all I'm thinking here. Now, it's only an up two. Is it going to slow down enough that that even matters? That's where you're going to have to get this to... And putting's a little different now, and I don't ever really use that. But it matters more on uphill putts. As the ball's slowing down is when that half a degree can take effect. Now, there's another part to this, too, that does not work on. Imagine this being a down 10 putt. If you see any down 10 putt from this distance, the ball goes into the air. So by checking this, it is incorporating the aggregate of the break the whole way from ball to hole, right? But if the ball's in the air, it's not playing the break. So technically, it could have a little right break at the beginning and left break at the end, but I'm in the air over the right break. So if you think the ball's going to jump into the air, you really can't use that to your advantage, because it could actually tell you the opposite of what is true for you. Now, I'm not going to do anything but try to putt this straight. Pebbles and my daddies, stay away from Julia. In case I'm begging you, please don't go. Yes, she can. It's impressive. And it's funny because she's been around GoldenTeeV for as long as I have, in different avenues of it. She actually was a bartended and served for all the Minnesota contingent. And back then, the Minnesota contingent would put him down, dude. As much as I don't like the person anymore, I mean, Jill's memories of Will taking his clothes off and putting a stool on his head, running around, then jumping up on full-size arcade machine and trying to fuck the top screen. Yeah, that's how she knew. That's how I still look good to her, because she got to see that. Letter in my... What the... Wow, that's not good. That's a loss for against Brewer. How was that short? I felt like I hit that solid. Ah, oh well, we'll get it. Apparently I needed her to thumb that shot. And now this is the one thing I don't carry a 4-iron on this court. I think the 3 drivers is much more important. I learned how to feel. Love is difficult, but it's real. All right, so I always play to the little island, right? And I see a lot of people laying it up short. Here's why. Hitting from 220 or 240 from heavy rough, I can still stop the ball faster than you can stop a driver from 330. And I'm going to show you guys a really good way to calculate this distance. If I could stick the island to that. And I fucking, wow, that was horrible. All right, we're relegating this game to a loss, so we're going to put it on that island now. Just so I can actually talk through this. You're welcome, Brewer. All right, so heavy rough. Here's how I'm calculating heavy rough. The actual distance that my club says, I'm going to pick the club that's one up from that, and that's going to be my club. Now, if I have to adjust for wind on this, fine. This is nominal wind, and I got the club that's 260. It says 253. Perfect. Watch, I'm just going to hit this solid with backspin. This should be pin high. It is that simple, guys. That is it. That's heavy rough for you in a nutshell. It's a really quick and easy way to display it and to figure out what your distances are going to be from it. But that's heavy rough for you right there. Look at the distance on the club. So if a 6-wood's 235, cool. Perfect. I can use that to my advantage then. Typically, though, the 6-wood is going to be a club that I don't always trust the distances on. The 5-wood, 4-wood, 3-wood, it works perfect on that. Now, we know the 3-wood, though, you can man up and hit it a little longer. So be cognizant of that. If it's going to be close, just drop down to the 4-wood, murder that, because that doesn't carry longer, like as long over the top of the distance of the club as the 3-wood does. For some reason, the 3-wood, you've always been able to just fucking piss pound that thing. Egats. I don't like this shot at all. Yeah, I don't like where that pin is up there. Goddamn, what's going on in this game? I think I'm going to just have to tank this and go to the next tropical game so I can actually play it. All right, here's another good one here, too. This is a good way to test this hole. All right, so the wind's not blowing right or left. So a full is pretty much 2 turns with the woods, right? 1, 2. That lines me up a little left. That means that I can hit a full C and I can push it out a little bit right at 2 and get it to turn back enough. Now, no matter what, I'm going to be moving the ball here, okay? We're thinking backspin, but backspin on this going over it brings the bottom of the top tree into play. So I try not to hit the 5-wood whenever possible. I'm going to hit the 4 because the backspin 4 goes over the low branches and stays under the top one. Now, this one's not going to turn enough because now when I'm all the way over here, the wind's a little left or right. It is 1, 2 turns, barely gets me back to the pin. It's going to be hard to get this one to turn, but let's see if we can. And I'm trying to cut it too close. I caught the edge of the tree. Can we make something dreamy come through? I think we can. Oh. Now that one though, that pin being that tee box when you're tucked around the side, that's where that 2-iron club shot can come into play. I mean, I've watched people stick it, but majority of the time they're not making it on. So I don't see the benefit to having it there. And technically, I knew that 4-wood wasn't going to work with that shot. I would have had to throw it out too far to get around the tree, and then it's not coming back. If I really needed to stick it, I turn left once and undercut and try to get it and whip it way out. It's a harder shot to accomplish, and it's not as you can't get a full C straight to 2 really easy to repeat. Under C out to 3 is hard to repeat. So, but it can work. It would work. All right, let's just make this. We're going to try to can this ball. I don't care. I'm going to probably suck it over the edge, but... Wow, did not. Okay, 377. This is why I play the 3 driver bag on this. So on a level shot, my 297, to 10.5 high T, it's going to go about 351 on a fly, like 350 to 353, depending on how dead straight you are. Hey, Drew, how you doing? This is way downhill, right? And it's got an outwind of 5.5. So I think that flies it with that club. So now I'm going to look at no high tee shots at all. So now I'm thinking, okay, so now I'm thinking a high T 10.5 is too long. I think this flies this green with a high 10.5. Does a 3 get there? That's iffy. Let's go with something that I can get a little spin on. Let's try this bite spin on the no high T. And we're going to hit it solid. I don't know if a maxed out shot is going to be needed, but we'll see. But that's why you play 3 drivers. That's it. Because that hole should be one of those drivers, high T or medium T, every time. Or it's a layup. You can just pick the club that's right. I see that one, and I hit that one 141. I was 1 mile per hour off of max on a straight shot, and even if I hit it 142, it would have been on the green 5. So learn those distances. That might help you. That might save you a stroke later on. And let's be honest, it's easier for us to max out a drive than to pick a number down below the top end of something and try to repeat that. So once again, we're dumb. We know everything there is to know about it, but we're going to dumb it down to make the game as repeatable as possible. Okay, so this one, we're outside of the edge. This is actually a fun look. I'm going to actually get aggressive with this. God, I might not spin. I'm not going to hit any spin. Let's see if we can make it. Nope. Little too much cut. Roger Bridges. Exactly. Smash the like button. I will always prefer to high tee and try to get past everything. I don't like the shot from down below. It's not, you don't really have a chance of making it. It's really just getting it up and down. This one, at least I get a chance to attack a pin. And if you're playing stouts and you're using thumbs like you should, you want to set yourself up to attack every hole possible. Yeah, let's try to attack this one. I doubt it's going to be good, though. Now, guys, I shit all over myself this game, and it's going to turn out okay. 24 it would not eliminate me from a qualifier on this. As much as I'd be mad at myself for the game I just shot, I can wash this away pretty quick. All right, you fuckers. I love that you're here, but get fucked. Block. Roger, I wish you liked Golden Tee, but blocked. We're throwing band hammers out today like it's going out of style. All right, we're going to flip thumb this and let it run down. I don't care if it misses. Oh, God. Woo. So, an absolute crap game that, I mean, doesn't eliminate, in a match it probably eliminates me, but in a qualifier, you can come back from that. You can't come back from an 18. All right, we're going to play this one again. Yeah, a 24 on Baja is a lot worse than a 24 on that. Like, I mean, you felt like shit after that. But that's good, though. You didn't get out. You didn't let yourself get screwed. I played really bad for most of the qualifier, too. Pulled it together for a tropical and pine, and it got me in, no problem. But that was probably the lowest off of par. Well, okay, easiest course to put 30 on right now is probably Rattlesnake because the par is so high. Then any of the 2020 courses will be good to get them on. If you get 1 and 2 drivable, par is 30. I think this course is pretty good for it. Well, not now. Baja, Kevin, right now with the old tee boxes, you got to shoot a 2 better on Baja to get there. On mixed tees, it's going to be a little iffy, but you're looking for courses with Golden Tee par being it. So if you get holes 1 and 2 drivable on Kangaroo, that's going to be an easy one. Oakwood for sure. Oakwood for sure is one of them. Teton too. If you get 1 and 2 drivable, it's a par of 30. I mean, a lot of courses, if 1 and 2 are drivable, and they're going to be the ones that are going to change the most. Typically, the farther ones do not have that much swing on. The later holes in the round don't have as much swing. But 1 and 2 definitely do. Okay, that's right where I wanted this. So 250, 20%. Forward should be good, but we're going to bite spin the 3. What is going on here? That's spraying on me every time, and I'm not even hitting the ball yet. All right. I must be placing my hand wrong, and I'll have to find that. God damn it. Okay, this one's ugly. I don't like this look. We are a long ways back. So now I'm going to do this. Yeah, you're probably right. All right, I'm happy with that. But, I mean, really, your best chance of shooting a 30 is going to be the highest Golden Tee par. You don't have to hole anything out. That's going to be the hardest part about getting a 30 is holing out. So, technically, the lowest par Rattlesnake will set up to is 31, and it can get up to as high as 34, maybe even 35. But it's also a hard course, too. I mean, there's 3 drivable par 5s on it that are always drivable. Some can be harder than others. I went with the 5-wood. So the only reason I knew that was getting over is because it was 296 with the pin up front. That means that setup was really long, which means that my tee box has to be far back of the trees. So I didn't think the trees were really in play at all. God, this is ugly too. And remember, on that hole especially, if you do not backspin it, you will not clear those trees. You can go around them with no backspin, but backspin gives you that extra 10 feet of height that you need to get over the top. And it's only that box, because they do not clear all the time. When I was playing the course with arrows, I was hitting a high T6 wood, and then if you caught the 180 off the tee, you could fly it up there really well. And the high 6 wood was getting over every time. And if I hadn't learned how to chush, I'd probably still be playing arrows. And honestly, if C3s and A1s worked perfectly, that would be you could drive that green every time I won with a C3. Where I roll it back multiple times. Oh, that's just my feel on it. Dude, it's like it's my nervous tick, Kevin, or it's just my thing like that. You mean? You mean where I keep resetting it? Nothing. It's just habit, man. I use it while I'm talking. I rarely can do. I can rarely not pull it back multiple times. In fact, there was a stream where somebody bet me that I couldn't play the single round by pulling back just one time, and dude, it freaked me out. I'd stop myself like, ugh, and I just had no idea what I was doing then. So it's just my habit. Oh, you're talking about like spinners. Okay, so the theory behind the spinner. The spinner's an interesting shot. And I'll go into story time for it. So, Stephen Sobey, back when he worked for IT, and we called the blue button guy, he'd put his button and his videos would come up. Yep. Okay, so there is no difference. You can mimic the shot exactly without doing that. But by spinning the ball directionally, when I'm coming forward, if I didn't have it spinning, in order to hit a perfect C3, I would have to hit it right towards the 3. And then since half of my power is going out directionally, you have to be able to hit harder to max it out. When you're hitting the ball that hard from a dead stop as well, too, it has a chance to jump the roller and not read the shot correctly. So what a spinner's doing is I'll spin it, and then I don't have to hit all the way out directionally because the ball is rotating that roller that direction. So it's helping me get out directionally while only having to aim inside of the 3 to get it to go C3. So I don't have to waste all of my forward swing power. So now I'm going 45 degrees if I have to hit it directly to the 3. When now I'm hitting it in between, so I'm only having to go out like 25 degrees. So I then don't have to lose as much of my forward swing directionally. So it's a really good shot to lessen the wear and tear and to make a shot more consistent. Now, when I played with Sobe doesn't hit spinners. He would always just do that way. Yeah, and that's because you're jumping the roller, because you're hitting from a dead stop. It's the physics of it. Oh, it ends at midnight on Sunday, Caesar, so you got plenty of time. Yeah, it's just a trick. You don't have to do it. It is not doing anything to gain you distance. No, Joel. Okay, so there's a couple of different scenarios here. Pulling back will allow you to get a longer distance. In MPH on the trackball, we're going to just pretend we're hitting the ball dead straight to the 2. With no pullback, the max you can hit forward is 123. And that 123 correlates to a distance on every club. If I have a pullback, the max I can hit is 142. So just a pullback is instantly giving you 19 miles per hour more in backspin. If you pull back and hammer a shot versus hammering a shot with no pullback, I believe you get a little bit more spin too. Obviously changes trajectories a bit. Pullback shots get a little more height and things like that. Now, you are taking a variable out of play when I don't pull back. So if I go to aim straight to the 2 with no pullback and I hit it straight to the 2, it's going straight to the 2. The pullback is something that you can't always be certain that it's dead straight. Now, there's a negative to this too, though. If I pull back and thumb a shot, right, and I mishit it and I thumb it out to 2.5, well, guess what? The pullback straight and going out to 2.5 will cause the ball to cut back towards center. Now, if I don't pull back and I spray a shot with my thumbs, guess what? It's going that direction, and it won't come back that way. So there are a ton of benefits and a ton of not. With stouts especially, you need to incorporate into your game a lot of no pullback, because we're halving one of the biggest variables in the game, so I want to have no more variables, right? If I can get rid of variables completely, then the game gets a ton easier. And that's what you're doing with stouts. You're halving the one variable that's the thing that fluctuates most. So now I can become mechanical with it. But there are some shots, like I would never thumb this shot, right? And we're going to go to my play on this. So the distance is 248. My 5-wood says 250. If with no wind, that would be great. I'm going to go up to the 4. Does that look like it should get there? No. But watch where this lands. Look at that. Pin high. It's dead money. It's dead money right there. You're not going to get as much backspin out of the heavy rough, but you notice that ball stopped pretty damn quick. But now that I there's no guesswork for those shots now. Heavy rough. Distance that you're playing, the distance that's on the club, not the distance on the overhead, the distance that's on the club. Play that distance. Wind in your face, go up 1. Wind out, maybe keep it the same, maybe go down 1, depending on what club you're at. And so we just made a calculation. Joel, okay, well, you can pull back. Here's with stouts, right? Pretty much the tee boxes on all the new courses, and there's going to be a few exceptions, will basically cover me for 6 miles per hour wind either direction. Obviously, that's a general rule of thumb. So I can basically play straight shots on anything with wind less than 6. I can just use the tee to do my aiming for me. Now, here's where stouts are at a disadvantage. And I'm going to break this down. Okay, you have the angles of your pullbacks that can be defined in Golden Tee are from the middle of the A to the middle of the C. That's the only amount of increments you have in there. So it's a really small area that define your cuts. Now, when you're cutting into a strong wind with a full wind playing ball, you have a lot more freedom in there. I can miss it a little bit, and the wind will hold it up. But with stouts being half wind, you are really prone to overcutting. So for me, And I would have to say anybody that plays stouts, cutting the ball with stouts is actually harder than cutting it with full wind. It really is. It's a lot more precision necessary in there because you're not having the wind stop you. Generally, when you're cutting shots in Golden Tee, you're cutting into a wind so you can fight through the wind. You're rarely cutting with the wind unless you're trying to get extra distance, and then that doesn't matter how accurate you are. But if I'm cutting in, let's say it's a 10 right to left, and I'm cutting into it with the Titans, that's a no problem, and it's a very rare shot that I'm going to miss because like you have so much play in there that I can undercut it and still be fine, catch green, catch my spot. I can overcut it and the wind's going to hold it up, so my variance is much less. Now, if it's only a 5 wind, though, I have to be a lot more precise because the wind isn't going to hold it up much if I overcut it, and if I undercut it, it's going to hang out there still too. So there's a little benefit, and your goal for stouts should be this. When I look at a shot with stouts, can I thumb this shot? If yes, play my thumb shot. Can I move a tee and thumb this shot? If yes, thumb the shot. Do I have to pull back? Do I have to cut around an obstacle? That's the order of operations with stouts. You should always be looking for a thumb shot with stouts. If you're not thumbing with stouts or playing a no pullback shot, you are wasting the advantage that you have with stouts. And if you're always pulling shots back, it is almost better. It is almost better to play a wind ball because you get more forgiveness because the wind is going to be, you're typically fighting against the wind with stuff. So I have more forgiveness with it. And really, that's it. And then you're changing angles on how the ball lands on the green with no pullbacks, and it's really easy to get familiar with it. So, like, if I have a left to right 7 and I thumb it straight, I can now see that it's going to make a perfect V there, and I can start to understand the angles of the pullback it's going to hit, right? Now, with wind, that angle could be coming in. It could be coming in like this when it lands. So that means my angle coming back is like this. But with stouts, it shrinks the angle. So I got less degrees of variance there. So, yeah, stouts are a game changer if you play them right. And I still watch people playing stouts at tournaments, pulling back and swooping stops in. It makes no sense because you should be using the Titans or streaks then if you want to swoop shit in and play it because you have a better chance of learning how those bounce. With stouts, like a little bit of off on the cut, it's going to cut way more than you have. And since the wind's less, it's not going to be able to do it. I think for the average golfer, it has brought scores up. And I think for the best players, it has made us almost unbeatable. I know everybody thinks that right now you got a chip and a chair at a tournament, and since everybody at the tournament's the worst player, okay, let's just, and I'm not going to single Jason Stark out, but we can look at his variance. The kid can get up to a 30 handicap, but he can shoot a -1 during the qualifier. Without stouts, he would be dropping down to his high-end peak is going to be maybe 3 strokes off of that, and his low-end peak would be a lot lower. So what stouts have done is it's brought the average player up, but it made the top player bigger. It made the top players even better. Yeah, well, now the negative of stouts is this, though. Okay, if I'm thumbing a ball and I got to aim it directionally, when you do not have a pullback, if you miss that line going that direction, and let's say I spray it and miss it out to the right and hit it straight, it's going straight. Now, if I pull back on a shot, and let's say I need to pull back straight and hit it straight, and I'm going halfway between A and B, halfway between 2 and 3. I get the pullback right, but I spray the shot way right. Well, guess what? That then naturally makes the ball come back towards center. So while you have more forgiveness with a pullback shot, you are way more precise with a thumb shot or a no pullback shot. It's just that the mistakes that you make with a no pullback shot get multiplied because you don't have that other factor bringing you back towards center. I hope that makes sense. I know, sorry, I went off on a little diatribe there. But if you see that one, I pulled that back pretty straight and then threw it way out, so it comes back towards center. It's just a matter of how much it's coming back towards center. Now, Adam, that was your first tournament. Did you remember what I said, like, it feels like all the trackballs are slightly slippery and you feel, but every shot, I bet you were hitting everything a couple miles per hour farther than you normally were, right? Oh, no problem, Joel, anytime. Good. I haven't had a good stream like this in a while with questions that got me going. It gets me talking. I do appreciate it, and I love that stuff. But, okay, so now, but this also goes into the point that I was talking about, the too much information and thinking about all this stuff while you're playing around, it's too much, right? So you just got to take the dumbest parts of this to dumb it down completely. And really, if you can take this information and make it go to where you can dumb your game down, that's what the goal is. And that's what stouts can do for you. They can really dumb the game down. And it's really nice. It's really nice because it makes everything where it's dumbing it down to make a lower person's handicap get better and their game more consistent. It is making my handicap not go any higher, but I'm shooting the scores at the peak of my handicap all the time. Yeah, it was crazy, right? I mean, like, I get scared when I get a greasy trackball at a bar or something like that. I'm thinking, I got to piss pound this and come down into it. And every ball at every event feels like it's greasy, but then you go and thumb it, and I'm thumbing 102. Like, what the fuck? All right. Yeah, exactly. But I obviously think about the things, but don't get too caught up in every little part. You want to take the parts of this that make you get rid of the little parts that can go wrong. Okay, here's a perfect example. This hole, that wind is 3.5. We're not worried about it slowing my cut down too much. But we remember that 2 turns is generally a full C straight to 2. It's not perfect, and it's a little different for every club, but for the 5-wood, 4-wood, 3-wood range, it's about 2 turns. So let's go up to 2 turns. Okay, 2 turns has got me outside the edge of the green. Perfect. Which means that I have a little play I can play outright. Now, when I look at this, that distance, I'm looking at 3-wood, 4-wood, 5-wood. Okay, here's where it comes into play, though. I'm going to backspin this tee shot most likely. A backspin 5-wood will hit the bottom of the branches on this tree. I have to go around that. Okay, but a backspin 4-wood stays under the first tree and goes over the second tree. So, being that this lines up that I'm going to be able to hit a backspin 4-wood, I can almost guarantee that this shot's going to be on the green, or maybe I'll bite it, I'll kick it over. If I try to get too cute with it, I might leave it short. But, so I move it to the right. Now let's check 2 turns. 2 turns puts me to the left of the green, but safe. I got wind fighting back the other way. So I'm thinking, no matter what, my pullback's going to be, I'm going to backspin this. My pullback's going to be like this. Full, that's a full pullback. Doesn't matter what else I do. Nothing else matters now. It's set. We're set. So now I just got to figure out how hard I need to hit it, and I got to be a little bit right. Straight's going to probably be fine here too. So we're going to go pretty much straight. And I did not go straight. I pushed it left and hit the tree. That's awesome. That was really weird too, to do that, stop and wait. I stopping on those, like, I really wanted to reset that shot. It just didn't feel right. And now I'm just fucking up. God, Brewer just got a free $100 from me. That's not good. It's okay. I won the last 4, so we're good. Yeah, we're 86 of this. This is terrible. That's me though. I'll gladly give up $25 on that game in order to get you guys a little bit of crazy shit in there. Let's play the event one time and see where we're at on that. I haven't looked at the leaderboard yet. I bet the 34 put me ahead, but I'm not at clean even yet. Yeah, I'm at 68. Let's get this up to 70. 70's par on it. You see, Adam, that's the thing, though. All that shit's running through my mind, but I block most of that out unless I'm talking to you guys and just take it down to the pure basics of it. And stats help you get down to the basics. Yep, okay, this. Can I get over that? My first play is always getting as close to the hole as possible. Is that going to get there? Probably not. Island. Drop a club, turn one turn, push it. I can't have it go too far with that push. I got limits on it. It's not going to go too far. It's perfect. I'm going right at the green. Okay, so this is going way uphill, so the first bounce is going to have a higher trajectory. I mean, a lower trajectory, so it's going to be like hitting a low tee shot in here. Is backspin going to make this? I don't know, but we got to do it. This is going to be a hard one to make. I'll take it. That was going to be a hard shot to make. All I'm looking to do is put it close, have a putt. I don't want to have a chip on a hole early. And then we're just dumbing it down. Mouth hit ball hard here. That's it. Hit ball hard, fairway, thumb shot in, we're good. Now this is where I'm going to think a little bit. When I thumb when you thumb drivers, it's a lower trajectory shot, and the same distance, thumbing an 8.5 driver at 100 miles per hour will have a bigger loss in distance than if I thumb a 3-wood at 100 miles per hour. It's just because of the lower trajectory of it. So you just got to know that. So if I was thumbing a 3-wood to this, I would be thinking of going naked on this. If I'm thumbing the 10.5, I'm releasing it. And even release probably wasn't necessary, but if I don't get it to the hole, it can't go in. So I gave it a chance there. All you can ask for. So I'm looking at this. Can I get around the rock? Answer's yes, I'm doing that. I don't have to play anything crazy and bank it off a hill. So we're going to go around the rock. Now, what do we want to do here? We know that a 5-wood on a straight shot is 300 on a high tee. It lands 300 if you hit it solid. It's a perfect way to judge things. A1s and C3s are going to snap a little bit more. So can I play that here? The answer is yes, but I'm not going to murder and I'm not going to spin this one. I'm just going to hit an A1. Solid. And I'm on the green. The only thing I could have done there was hit that a little too hard, caught the downslope, and had that thing shoot off like a rocket down to the bottom. Otherwise, I got a putt. But there wasn't a way to fuck that shot up. You really couldn't fuck that up too bad. You know, Adam, I like to be in the action, and when I put headphones in, like to take myself away, I find myself taking them out and talking to people and then putting them back in. It became more of a distraction than what it was worth. Plus, I like the social aspect of Golden Tee too. I want to talk to people. If it's a big match, I want to talk to the crowd even, you know? I don't want to just sit there and be stoic and boring. This is a judgment shot too. Okay, the 8.5 never will get up this without a high tee. So basically the 8.5 is never in play here. 9.5 was occasionally. 10.5 is about the same height as a 3-wood. It's only 1 degree less. And you could play the same degrees as a 3-wood, but that doesn't make sense. So I'm just going to hillbilly rip this, and I know that I'm going to stick the green. I'm not trying to make it. I'm just going to put it on for a putt. If I made this, it would be the luckiest shot ever because it would have to dunk. God damn, my putting has been sloppy tonight. That's not good. See, putting for me is all rhythm. And there's another part to wearing headphones that the intricacies in match play, like, okay, yes, I can read all the numbers and stuff, but if my opponent goes first and they hit a shot, and then you can hear them sigh or hear them, like, say something good about it, then I know that that's what they intended to do, and it might change my approach on a shot. Because honestly, looking at the intricacies of a player, a lot of us are so equal. Somebody's headspace is really going to be the difference in a match. And if I know somebody's not in the right headspace when they're playing the match, it's going to change it how aggressively I attack holes. So headphones are actually taking info away from me in a match. We got to let this thing go naked. All right, so I've been putting this one just over the ice every time. It's lining me up at either a 9-iron or an 8-iron in every time. I can, and actually that's why it's why I chose these Jabras, because there's a button that does a hear through where it acts like a hearing aid. So I can even have music on and still hear everything clear as day. But I still find myself taking it out and wanting to be more concerned about anything else going on. I mean, in case you guys can't tell, I'm probably somewhat ADD kind of guy. Focus has never been my best thing. So I can run ragged out there. Well, it's funny too, because I was the neurosurgeon. I was showing her how I go about playing Golden Tee, and she asked, "Why do you always bobble back and forth?" And I was like, "Because my feet hurt so damn bad that if I don't move the pressure from one leg to the other, then they both hurt." High end. All right, we got a big outwind. Pins at the bottom. This might be one where I don't hit a full A1 on because I need to cut down distance. So we're thinking this, bite spin, baby cut, and then throw it out. Yeah, that's, I mean, it's on, but it's not a good putt. If I miss the putt, it's wet probably too. Oh, I didn't miss the putt. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Okay, so we don't need to hit a high T5 or 4 to clear this. And if we go by my distances, the high T5 is 300. It'll land 300. So a high T5 is going to be hard to stop this down there unless I lay off of it. And if you haven't noticed this when you're playing, one of the hardest things to do in Golden Tee is to take your hammer shot and knock it down 5 miles per hour or 10 miles per hour. So you typically want the club to do the work. The problem is the high T6 get down to the hole, and that might be a good thing because I don't want it to get down to the hole. So let's try the high 6 with release and see what it does. And I even laid off it a little bit, which I didn't need to because that actually would have been pretty good. But those who thumb, like, you could give me a number between 95 and 80, and I bet I can be within 1 mile per hour of it pretty much every time with thumbs. If you give me a number like 133, that's going to be you're not going to have as tight of a variance on that at all. It's going to be spread out, and that's got to be everybody because micro twist muscles, your full-size man muscles here. God, the Worlds this year, I was playing lemon on this course, and we were tied. And on that tee shot, I hit roll instead of bite on it, and went way through the green and I nutted a chip with a 5-iron. I ripped it in, and then played clean and got him on 18. Okay, so we're way far back on this box. Can I get it up a little bit on that snowbank to where it's not too much of an upslope? It's awful close. And we're going to try, right? We're going to try it. But the other shot would be you go between the two buildings next to the bags machine, and there's fairway right there. It's hard to get. Let's see how far up. Now, we got it up far enough. We're good. Now, the trick from this is I don't want to hit the green first. I want this to land short and bounce up if I want to make it. So we're going to smoothie this. And that was really the only chance I had to make it. There's only one little risk, is that you can hit just that edge in between the bunker and the hill, and it will go backwards right away, but pretty much everything else is clean coming out of it. All right, wind's in our face. This changes this up a little bit. Now we can actually stick the island on a fly. So I'm going to high tee the 6 and not murder it, but I'm going to hit it. Okay, now rough sucks here. This kind of sucks, but yeah, this is not good. This is going to be trouble. I'm going to play this club, and I'm not sure. I don't remember if gravel will carry longer. But hopefully it doesn't. I hit the ice and bounce right up at the hole. That's what I was playing, and it played how I thought it would. So that's good. A lot of shots on that hole, your second shot is going to be hitting the ice first. The trajectory coming in does not lend itself to have much backspin. All right, so we can easily make this shot for ourselves, make this simple. On a level shot with no wind, you're hitting at about 300 on a fly with the 5-wood. This is pretty much, it's very uphill, surprisingly. So this should be about right. Remember on older holes too, it doesn't adjust the distance. I moved it back about 5 yards. So we're looking at about 296 to this hole, uphill. I'm not thinking this has any chance of going over. I'm not going to hit it as hard as I can, but I'm going to hit it hard. It's 135. Just off the max, stayed on, no problem. Make the hole easy. This one, just always find the club. Take a club down from what you think you would, because you want to not laying off this ball can lay it wet. But if you hit it solid, the worst that happens is I get stuck against the wall, and it's 2 shots to get out at the green. But we're gonna play the 5-wood, so that won't happen here. We're going to thumb this and see if we can back this up and go in. And there's just, you're going to learn that with your thumb shots or no pullback shots, the drivers have more of a loss in distance than your 3-wood would. Your 4-wood, 3-wood, 5-wood, pretty similar plays on distance loss when you thumb. And then you got to know your irons too. Like a 5 hybrid doesn't have as much loss on a thumb shot as my 5 iron does. My 4-iron plays like my 5-iron. It's short of the number, but it's what you got to learn. You'll learn it for yourself on those, and just know that it's always going to be consistent. There's not a club in the game that's inconsistent on those distances. It's a direct linear plot, miles per hour distance. It's directly linear. If you're over 78 miles per hour or so on your thumb shot, if you go under 78, I think it can have some real big variances in there, which why you don't want to do it. Your top 5, Caesar. You have to have 5 games to count. So it's your top 5, doesn't matter how many you play. Okay, we know this 9-wood is actually more of a 200-yard club than a 190. So can I thumb this? I'm not going to thumb it. I'm going to palm it because I want to get about 100 to 105 on this and have backspin. Now, if I try to do that with thumbs, I have to torque it up pretty high to thumb in the hundreds, and I can spray it very easily. My palm shot, I'm not going to spray it too bad. It's not going to be as accurate as my thumbs, but it's still not going to be all over the place. This is ugly. This is ugly. I mean, the safe play is to go to the fat part of the green. The wind will pull it back to where you have a putt, but I missed an easy shot in here, so I need to go for a hole out. So let's try it. Guys, that's just God-given ability. That isn't something that you can teach. That was just straight feel, God-given ability. That's all you need to know about that. All right, so we went clean. We're fine with clean. That was pretty fucking nasty, though. I mean, that's just Jesus Christ coming through my body and hitting the trackball for me. That's it. It has to be it. I mean, I found God tonight. That's what happened on that. That was Marc Gomez beating Gino-esque in the finals. When you are young, they assume you know nothing. Young, they assume you know. Okay, let's go better than par now. We got to get one better. Okay, so first choice. I haven't done one with that, but if you're playing the choice 20, The biggest thing I want to see you get used to, look, you need to have an extra club in your bag and get rid of a lob wedge. You need to get so comfortable with whether you're choosing a sand wedge or a G wedge that you basically, I want you to do this before you switch. Pretend you don't have a lob wedge in your bag and never use it. All right? Get used to not using it because that is a free club in your bag. There's two parts to it. If you need to use a lob wedge and you don't have one, you're probably screwed in that round anyway. So your lob wedge is good in case shit happens club. Well, the problem is that it's not a recovery club that you're going to hold shit out with. You just don't. The lob wedge isn't a hold-out club. It's too high a trajectory. The situations you use it, you generally can't see your target. So what's the point? When you can learn to hit a G wedge to do the same thing and be more consistent even and play less wind and less break with it. So that gives you an extra club in your bag. Really, you should not have a Build-A-Bag that includes a lob wedge. Honestly, the lob wedge should not, if you're an 18 handicap or better, you need to get rid of the lob wedge. You will have so many more things. Oh, yeah. No, Facebook probably cannot. And Joel, real quick, if other people are chiming in, the bots that we use to move the chat from Twitch, YouTube, Facebook blocks them, so you don't get to see all the messages. So for a full experience, go to gt.live/themouth, and you'll be able to see everybody's comments, even the Facebook ones. But Facebook won't see yours. It's just one of the problems with it. But yeah, good one. I should say that earlier in it too. Yes, you can see them all on Twitch. Twitch doesn't block the bots. Restream uses a bot that will see something typed in a different platform and then post it in for everybody. Now, I've never done a Build-A-Bag video. It's kind of interesting though. There's really two different Build-A-Bag styles, right? Okay, so one, for me, I think I could be, if I don't count my par 3 bag, I could get by with 3 Build-A-Bags, right? I have my standard set. That would be, we'll say 4, actually. So I've got a standard set. My standard set is always going to be the same. One driver, 8.5, 9.5, right? One of those two. Well, Twitch would be better for us, but our target audience, the Twitch audience is typically much younger. And what we saw when we were doing the live streams is that even at events, yeah, you'd have good viewership on Twitch sometimes, but those guys are kids between 12 and 18 that can't play the game. So you would lose them. YouTube, I think, fits our target audience better. Facebook's great because most people are on Facebook. It's not as friendly. There's like 3 or 4 different apps you use for all the tools for streaming that none of them work together and none of them can do everything. It's kind of stupid. But so YouTube ends up being my favorite. And I kind of want to almost go to all YouTube, but being that I haven't been approved for the partner program, I still can't get any money out of them yet for the years that we've been doing this. But the thing about Twitch though is that you don't need nearly as many viewers to make money. Okay. But building a bag, though, back to it. My standard bag include one of the 2 drivers at 8.5 or 9.5, depending on need based on courses. A 10.5 driver. All bags have that now. The 10.5 is such a versatile club altogether. Wait, they got girls in pools? Guys, let's go to Twitch, baby. But then I go 3 wood, 4 wood, 5 wood, 6 wood. One of the 7, 8, or 9. I did do a video that you can find out there, and I can post a link for it on the differences of the 9, the 8, and the 7. The 9 wood is the only club that you should ever choose. The only problem with the 9 wood is that the distance that it shows is off by a bunch. The 8 wood is off by less, and the 7 wood is right on point with the distances. But the problem is there's only like a 4-yard distance difference between those 3 clubs. The cuts are the exact same with them too. So the height benefit that you get with the 9 wood is so worth anything else. So it's the 9 wood. Then, now before the clubs changed and the 9 wood was this nerf downward, I'd have the 9 and a 7. But now you only need one of them because they're all the same. I go to a 4 iron next, and this is where I'll differ from others. I don't play hybrids hardly at all. And I'll explain that in a minute, why I don't play hybrids. But I go 4, 5, 7. Notice the distance difference between those. It's all 20 yards, which means that I can cover any shot with those by changing the distance with either thumbing, high T, low T, medium T, backspin, bite, roll. I never have a distance that I can't thumb a shot in at. So then, and then I go down 7, 8, 9, G wedge. You could make a solid argument for a sand wedge over a G wedge. The G wedge just comes into play too much and it's less gap. I can shorten a G wedge down to any distance lower than it, but I can't make a sand wedge go to the 90 yards that my G wedge does. So I've covered all my distances in there, and my gaps are small the whole way throughout. So basically, if you're playing stouts, I'll have a thumb shot every time I want to have it. And really, that's all you're looking for with playing stouts. You want to have a no pullback shot to take that extra variable out of the equation when you're playing. That's it. Now, if I put a lob wedge in there, I'd probably lose my 4 iron. And with the 9 wood the way it is now, that gap between a 9 wood and a 5 iron for most courses can be untenable, right? You can't, because with the way the 9 wood is, it's really hard to cut down distance using cut shots. If it was a 3 iron for my 200-yard club, I could easily make that 3 iron be a 160-yard club or a 215-yard club without a problem. By cut shots, little loop swoopers, I can do that. The 9 wood's harder to do that on because the cuts they're not as dramatic with the higher lofted woods like that. And you're going to find that there's groupings of clubs that all kind of perform together. You get all the drivers up until the 10.5, all similar performances with thumbs and cuts, right? Then the 3 wood, 4 wood, 5 wood all perform the same distances, variable distances, but same distance in relationship to your miles per hour. Then you get down your 6 wood. The 6 wood I'd like to put in its own category. It's the only club that's its own category because the distance isn't right. It's way shorter than what it shows. You'll see me thumbing the 235-yard 6 wood with an outwind to a 210-yard shot. Doesn't make sense. That goes against everything else, or if you follow it to scale going down. But then you get down past that. 3 iron, 4 iron, 5 iron. That group all performs the same. When you thumb, the distance less than the distance on the marker is very consistent. Then my 5 and 6 are very similar. 7, 8, and 9 are very similar. So you just pick clubs out of those groupings. Hybrids are a totally different animal. Now, here's why I don't use hybrids. I had to use it on one bag back in the day, and that was on Teal Garden. And it was simply because the bell hole was broken when the course first came out. Halfway up next to the bell was an invisible wall. The 5 hybrid wouldn't hit it, but the 5 iron would. So you had to, until it got fixed, we went to the 5 hybrid. So that's going to be my only bag that you see the 5 hybrid in. And then I have one bag for Pine Coast that has a 3 hybrid in it, and it's really just for hole 18 because the 3 hybrid is the perfect height. Yeah, Kevin, thanks for stopping by, my man. But the 3 hybrid is the perfect height to go over the trees and stay under the top, and it works beautifully. That's the only 2 clubs that I have a true hybrid in. I have a 0 hybrid, but I call the 0 hybrid a specialty club. Yeah, it is. Al is right. It is. It doesn't play like any other club. The cuts don't function like you would with your 7, 8, and 9, and the distance doesn't play like it would with the 5 wood, 4 wood, or 6 wood. It's its own animal. It is. For a while, I wouldn't put it in my bags just because I was like, but that gap in distance between that and your 7, 8, and 9 is really necessary, and the fact that that club is actually shorter than it shows, it actually fits that gap even better. So now I got a 20-yard gap between my 5 wood, I got a 230-yard 6 wood, and I got a 9 wood that says 190, but it's really a 210 club. So my gaps are consistent. there's really a method to the madness. You could do the same thing with hybrids, but my problem is this. I've chipped with the 5-iron for decades. When I remove the 5-iron for a 5 hybrid, I will roll chips over or lip them out. Whether it's 1 in 10, 1 in 5, or 1 in 100, I never lip out chips with a 5-iron. It just causes me to do it, and I just had to not put it in there. Hybrids will cut a little differently too, and then the thumb shots with it, your miles per hour, you stay at a higher speed. Like if you plotted the course of it, you have less loss of distance with a thumb shot with a hybrid than you do with the 4 or the 5-iron. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. I'm just got used to the consistency of the irons thumbing the same. So you just got to pick clubs out of those groupings, and once you realize what the groupings are, it's really easy to space the clubs out right. You'll find too, like, I mean, hey, there are courses that I could get rid of the wood, the 7 wood, the 9 wood on, and put a 3-iron in the bag. But the 3-iron won't perform the same functionality with cut shots. It won't perform the same with the spin that you get on it. Thumb shots are dramatically less with that. Like a thumb shot with a 9 wood, I can hit it to 195. But I'm not hitting my 3-iron to thumb to 200 unless I really torque into it. So it's just learning those intricacies. But really, I don't want to see people building bags until you've gotten comfortable with not using the lob wedge, because that's an extra club you want in your bag. So now instead of having a club to recover, you have a club to attack a hole. It might make your low end games lower, but it's definitely going to make all your other games higher up because you got a club that you're going to be able to put right at pins. There is some, oh wow. Me stopping and doing this really gets me sometimes. All right, so the heavy rough with a chip, it's kind of the same thing. How I'm going to judge this is that, okay, my G wedge is normally 73. This heavy rough is knocking off 12 yards, so I'm losing 1/7 of the distance here. So in my head, I've kind of mapped this out. I'm not really thinking about it every time, but I know that this chip is pretty much going to come out clean. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just like we had the 6 wood and the old 9 wood were really similar in my mind, but everybody hated the old 9 wood because it was so short. But I could play that old 9 wood to go 160 with a high T or 250 with a high T. It was awesome. It was great. Yeah, that's just him being trying to be difficult. There's no reason to put that club in your bag because you have a club with a limit on it. I don't need that club. I can make any club act like the chipper. And when you start seeing these 1 or 2 chip pullback chips, I'm actually going to try it here. Let's try the 1 chip, 1 click full, 1 click full. That goes nowhere. So is it 3 clicks? Nope, that's too far. 2 clicks. Nothing. I don't understand this, and it's going to take some time to get used to it. Okay, so 3 clicks and a full swing. Yeah, it's more than 2. 2 clicks went nothing. But I can't be that meticulous, man. That would totally take me out of the rhythm of my game, trying to count clicks all the time. I do it enough with stouts with moving a T. That would not be good for me. But no, we're not going to play this game. We just ate shit all over that one. We ate shit all over that. Okay, and my chipping too, if you notice, I'm not a stop and then chip. I'm a rhythm chipper. My chipping is all based on timing with it. All right, what other invites do we got? Let's see what we got here. I just debacled $50 away on those 2 tropical ones. But I think we got $50 worth of learning in there. Let's knock out these pine. Ooh. We're going to play pine. We're going to play sequoia. We're going to play all the tree games. We're going to play pine trees, sequoia trees, pine trees. And then we're going to play that tundra. I know we hadn't asked for it. So these 4 are getting done right now. Let's do it. And this is the reason why. That's a daily score. Those are all from the daily. These shouldn't be up there. Well, I Taylor was the first one to play stouts of anybody, and I mean, he found the advantages. He saw advantages that none of us knew were there. I always laughed at him. I thought distance was a problem with stouts, and it's not a problem one bit. In fact, the stouts are the longest ball, other than arrows. They call a specialty ball. The stouts are the longest ball in the game at winds in your face of 8 miles per hour or more. I know it's hard to think. You can't even imagine it, but they're longer than streaks once you hit 8 mile per hour in your face. Okay, they gave me a putter, but did you guys see that thing roll in there? It looked like it had a little lip there. Now, it does. You see the short part? There's a little lip behind me, but this looks like it's pretty straight. It's going to be downhill, so I don't care about the fringe in front of me because it's not going to slow it down. This should go right in. Yeah, you'll home edition or commercial, Caesar? Oh, no, you're commercial. You're sitting 5 off a par. You'd be 25 short of the lead, so you'd be looking at about you'd be at 143. I don't know what the payouts go down to on commercial. Caesar, you're a much better player than you think. You're a much better player than you let on. You've got a lot of chances to become really good, Caesar. Just don't give up on it. Like, this hole is so easy. I know my distance is this. It's going to land 300. Well, why don't I hit it? I just max that club out. You just figure out what clubs you got to max out all the time. Well, you got to get better, but that's actually better than 99% of the world could do on that event. No, I don't think you'd be shooting a 1 in the qualifier. This shot scares me now. I've been screwing this up a lot. I'm actually not worried about getting over. I'm worried about hitting the goddamn, putting myself in that lawnmower out there. Yes, chain. And now that's the thing. If you notice this course here, it's my standard bag, but I put the 9.5 in here and not the 8.5. You will see some people play this course with 3 drivers. I don't see the benefit to the 8.5 as much as people think. People put the 8.5 in there because it can allow you to get to 18 sometimes when it's not there for the 9.5. The problem is, even if you get to the green with the 8.5, no matter what, you're going through to the bottom of it. So if the pin's up top, I have a risk chip then to try to make that can easily go into the bunker. When I can just lay it up and have a 90-yard shot with a 9-iron thumbs that I know that I'm going to be within 2 feet on. You guys, I got to grab a water. You guys got me all parched tonight. Lots of talking. And I got to stay up. I got to be up by 5:30 this morning because tomorrow's probably a target drop for PS5 guys. And they're not hard to get if you're up at that time. They're really not that bad to get them from Target. So I want to get a couple more and try to get them raffle off. Aiden, it's a mistake. They have it. It was working in their test environment. I talked to Adam about it specifically, and I was like, Adam, I know your explanation is going to be that it was working, but people are probably tired of all the mistakes, right? And he's like, yeah, I know. I was like, so let's just try to not have a couple mistakes for a while so that we can just buy into you when there is an honest mistake. But yeah, it was supposed to go to mixed tees, Aiden, and it won't get changed back until after the new year. So we're playing the old tee boxes again. So Golden Tee Pars just dropped almost 2 strokes on every course. Or it got 2 strokes worse on almost every course. Yeah, IT is in a big boy business. They're in a big boy area, but they still act like a small company sometimes. And in a way, for the GoldenTee side of things, it is a really small company. But they got big boy aspirations. All right, this is going to be ugly. I'm going to have a tough second shot. If I could get that, oh good, I got it to bend enough. It didn't look like that ball was going to bend enough back to the fairway. Yeah, Adam, I didn't realize how much better the courses are not good on the old tee boxes. Mixed tee boxes, here's the thing with mixed tee boxes. Most of the time they're going to drop par down, but you're going to get a random setup. Like, there's going to be an Once setup that sets up for 30 with the mixed tee boxes. And we've never had Once be a par higher than 28. And really 27, because 28's not really there. There were the time that I think it's like 10 or 12 that changed. I don't know. See, that's the thing, though, Al. They're not. The tee boxes are made. Okay, one of my biggest issues is not enough people that are designing the game are playing the game. I mean, right now at IT, it's really Adam and Kevin are the only ones that have any skill of playing GoldenTee at that office. I know Don really forced a lot of the art teams to actually play the game and forced them to be in a league, but they didn't seem to give a shit about it. And I hate to say it, but in talking with Adam, we're definitely going to get back to we're gonna definitely get back to having a players symposium or a players part of it where they have like a board of players that are going to help when making some decisions with stuff. And I love that idea, and I love the fact that Adam's even for that. I will say one thing with Adam, though, and it's not a bad thing, but this PGA machine is his baby. This was really his inception, dude. He got the ball rolling on this, and he talked him into doing it. Hi, Sean. How you doing, bud? But he's almost too invested in it. Constructive criticism on the machine. He's got a lot of. He's too attached to it. So when somebody says to make changes, it's almost personal to him. It's a good thing and a bad thing in a way. I really think that the button layout should change to similar to this, where your buttons line up with the top edge of the trackball, not with the bottom edge of the ball. It makes everything too tight. But Adam seems to think that they've tested and says that players will be faster with the buttons the way they are now. And if the goal is to speed up games, okay, I'm all for that. More games played per minute or per hour is a good metric because more games will get played altogether. Well, the weird thing is, Al, we were playing games in Dallas at 1 o'clock on Sunday, and we were really drunk, but I swear to God that we had mixed tees. Jason, how you doing, bud? It has been a long time. I'm doing good, man. And yourself? All right, so this is a perfect shot to math out. If we know, high T 10.5 level shot, straight, assume that it will land 350. So we can assume 350. Now we get a 7 wind out. Okay, so we can land at 355 to 360. Okay, now landing 360 with that much wind. The pin's at 363. How much room do we have behind it? Not a lot. So this makes this really easy. I move it back on the box. I high tee it and I backspin it. You can even play it into the last tree on the right. It's not necessary because this won't go over now. I'm going to go almost at the pin because I'm not worried about much at all. Hey, Robert. And because I backspun it, moved it to the back of the box, it couldn't get over. Not too much. We're doing good. Yeah, I'm hoping so too, Jason. I've been saying it for a long time. Nagy is an absolute disaster of a coach, and I hope he never gets another job in the NFL. He is so set in his ways that he can't fit a game plan around the people that he has. I feel bad for the guys like Trubisky, dude, because I think Trubisky actually has an immense amount of talent, and I'm happy have seeing him behind a guy like Josh Allen, because he's going to be a starter in the NFL again. And I'm happy to watch Fields not take their bullshit, because I think Fields has a chance to be really good too. Buddy and nobody trusts me. You guys, I love these kind of nights that you get me going on topics. It just so happens that tonight's topic was on GoldenTeeTV, so it really helps me out a bit too. Oh no. That wasn't my best effort. He wasn't trash. He was coached poorly. Notice when he started in the league, he made a Pro Bowl. He ran more. He was not a pocket passer. He got his head wrapped around bullshit from a horrible head coach. Yeah, he got his head wrapped around a horrible head coach. Why didn't he run the last 2 years he was with the Bears? Because Nagy was forcing him to be a pocket passer like an asshole. This is why I say that John Harbaugh is the best coach in the NFL. You can argue and say Belichick, okay, cool, that's great. But Harbaugh, where everyone else tried to convert fucking Lamar Jackson into a wide receiver because he didn't fit into anybody's offenses, Harbaugh goes, well, fuck it. Fields will be fine. Fields will be fine with the right coach. I don't see him being an all-elite caliber NFL quarterback. I don't see him being an all-world beater, but I definitely see him being able to run a very productive offense. And I like his mentality. I like that when people were like, why did you just chuck that ball down deep in the end zone the last 2 weeks and get picks? Well, because the coaches were on the headset saying the other team had 12 men on the field. I'm supposed to listen to my coaches, right? That defines the problem with the Bears right there, that the coaches don't know dick, because both times there were not 12 men on the field, and he basically set their quarterback up for failure. Oh, the place you picked him at, absolutely wrong pick. You didn't need to pick him at number 2. Dude, he made a Pro Bowl. Not many quarterbacks get to say they made a Pro Bowl, dude. He has talent. With the right coaching, he would have been fine. Picking him number 2, that was just our GM getting fucking tricked by other teams. We didn't need to. He was never going to go there. Didn't need to go at 2. We didn't need to trade away the future to get him that early. I have nothing wrong with the pick, though. Nothing wrong with the pick. He would have been a fine player with good coaching. But that's just something we haven't had. Oh, they all got to go, but that's not going to happen. Yeah, no, I mean, okay, this is a perfect example. The 8.5 isn't getting there either on this. So now we're just going to put this in position for a hole out. Well, not necessarily true. He's in the best position for him. I mean, and you can't expect another team to just take a chance on him because of what they got to see. They have to assume that he wasn't coached like shit. I think everybody knows, and he would do fine filling in for Josh Allen. I don't think that they would. If Josh Allen got hurt, wouldn't say the Bills' season's over because Trubisky's their quarterback. He can do some things that a lot can't. He can run his ass off, which we never got to see it after year 1 on the Bears. Oh. And I'm going to say that's not true necessarily because, I mean, okay. Absolutely over. What do you mean absolutely over? And that's not necessarily true, dude. Early round NFL quarterbacks that don't make it with their first team, they generally don't go on to another team. I mean, look at Rosen. They tried, but instantly they end up drafting Kyler Murray. Is Rosen terrible? No, he wasn't terrible at all, but he's basically done. Is he even in the NFL anymore? The fact that he caught on with an organization that is actually really good at judging caliber of players and talent and coaching their people up is a very good sign for me that they see a viability in him. I mean, where would you rather be? Yeah, okay, here's the point. Would you rather see him starting for the Jets or learning as a backup to Josh Allen and watching a team win in Buffalo? Which one's harder to do? Nah. How many NFL quarterbacks have made the Pro Bowl in their lifetime? 100? Maybe 100? Guess who's one of them? Trubisky. He's got talent, dude. You just need to foster his talent. You don't make him a pocket passer when he's a scrambling passer and he can run his ass off. That threat should have been there. He should have been a dual threat quarterback, and Nagy just took it away from him because he didn't fit in his system. Just like Jordan Howard. Once again, there's still no argument. He made a Pro Bowl. You have to have talent to make a Pro Bowl. You can't argue with that. It means he was one of the 4 best quarterbacks in the conference that year. There's no argument you're going to say that you're going to prove me right, because it seemed like everyone else thought he was a Pro Bowl player. And I'll judge the NFL talent scouts better than... Yeah, that's it. He has talent. Those other things can get taught, and you knew that he's going to be a project. Nagy can't fucking teach. He's a terrible coach. He doesn't even understand how to manage the clock. He physically cost us a chance of going to further in the Super Bowl because he can't manage a clock. But he fortunately got to scapegoat a kicker that he always put in the worst positions possible. It's almost as bad as the Cubs scapegoating Bartman, right? That wasn't Bartman. That was fucking the shortstop's error should have been the issue on that. And the fact that you can't win another game. It had nothing to do with Bartman. But Chicago's really good at scapegoating people instead of actually putting the blame where it lies. The blame in our organization right now lies on Pace and Trubisky. Terrible. Terrible. Pace and Nagy, not Trubisky, sorry. They're terrible. Horrible. Now, they are good at one thing. Caesar. They are good at one thing, though. They are good at finding talent later in drafts. That is one thing that Pace has been good at. But there's 2 big keys with Nagy. You trade away Jordan Howard because he doesn't fit in your system. How do you not make a fucking perennial 1,000-yard rusher on the Bears? Yeah, Pace and Nagy, if they go away, this is a successful year. That's the best success we're going to have this year. Because we're wasting another year of a defense that is very solid. Well, Homer Flynn, thanks for the comment, but you are gone. He's out of here. Oh. Well, look what happened when Jordan started. He's a backup on Philadelphia. Philadelphia's coach is stupid too. He had great running backs on that team, and he doesn't use them well. That's why their team is at 500 right now with the talent that they have on it. But when Jordan Howard got to play, once again, averaged almost 5 yards a carry. And if you're going to say that Jordan Howard was not great for the Bears, you can just stop commenting altogether, because he's probably been one of the top 5 running backs in our organization. I mean, we'd rather keep Tariq Cohen, who he wants to be like who they wanted to be like Tyreek Hill. No, no, no. Jordan Howard was fantastic for us, dude. Absolutely was. And when he's gotten to play since then with Philly, he's been very good too. But the problem in Philly is they have talented players that a coach doesn't need to know how to do it. Well, they're winning half their games by running. And they're not giving it. And it's not the players running. It's not the right player running. Miles Sanders is immensely talented back there, and they don't give him the ball enough and let him run. Jordan Howard, when Sanders was injured, Jordan Howard got 20 carries somehow. I don't understand that. Why hasn't Sanders gotten that go? There is something to be said. He might have a propensity to fumble, but... I will tell you this, though, for the Bears. If you gave me a choice between keeping Trubisky or firing Nagy, I would have kept Trubisky any day of the week. Because a coach like John Harbaugh would have utilized his strengths, like escapability, get out of the pocket, force the defense to do something. As a pocket passer, you're right, he's probably not the best pocket passer. Probably never would have completed 70%. I mean, he's more like Josh Allen than most people realize. And they said that about Josh Allen, too. Yeah, he can run, but he's never going to complete 75% of his passes. Well, there's no way that Nagy... They got to be firing him. These guys, they got to fire him soon. I just keep waiting for the day after every game. Like, did we play bad enough? Is it time? Did that? Nope. All right, this one's a little iffy. I'm going to leave a long putt. I think it needs to happen sooner. The problem is who's going to make the interim coach? And Tim, it's funny, too, when you put an interim coach in, sometimes teams perform better than they should for them, and then you lose draft capital. I don't think we have any draft capital from this year, though. Like, we can't lose enough games when we have a first-round pick. It's the problem. We're never bad enough. Hey, that would be fantastic, dude. Make him your head scout. Okay, here's my perfect world, right? Here is my perfect world, right? And I know it's a pipe dream, but I want to think that the Steelers... He can't. There's no way. You can't have pace. But my perfect dream is this, is that the Steelers are Ben's done. They're done with Tomlin, and they end amicably, and we get Tomlin as a coach. And then you never can fire Tomlin. You can't fire Tomlin because he's got a great history. You give him time to let him build his system. It's a big enough name that we all have to be patient with him then. Because it's going to take a couple years to get this team in the right place. And Tomlin and John Harbaugh are my two favorite coaches in the NFL. Harbaugh because he was the guy that said, you know what? If my system can't accommodate this player, my system's wrong and I'm going to change it. Yeah, I know. He went to my rival high school, Adam. No, he ain't coming to the Bears. I don't think he leaves New Orleans ever. Yeah, he went to Naperville Central. Yeah, there's some optimism, though. That Tevin kid looks like he could be good. But once again, you don't need to... But you can scheme away from a terrible line with the last couple quarterbacks that we've had. I mean, you could scheme Fields into being mobile and kind of make up for a lot of offensive line woes. No, fuck Jim Harbaugh. He ain't coming back to the NFL ever. Dude, he finally beat Ohio State. He's gonna stay. He's gonna be on the team. He's gonna be in Michigan forever. That's another thing. Don't get me started on the Big Ten. It's an awful conference, and people think they're good. It's like me going and hanging out with midgets thinking I'm fucking the tallest man alive, dude. It's so painful to listen to these Hawkeye fans all the time thinking they're good. They're not good. You don't play anybody. It's a terrible conference. You will get rickrolled by like every other conference out there. No, it really, I need a big name. Hey, Maddie, how you doing then, bud? You're probably right, but having the injuries of the rookie, it kind of makes you have to force things around. And honestly, I don't think you need to have like the best offensive line in the league for Nagy's system to work. And since he doesn't adapt to anything that he sees on the field, we're stuck with it. You know, like there's no changes. He's not changing it up. Oh, come on. Hey, that's Nagy. That's why Nagy's a horrible coach. He has to have things perfect for his stuff to work. He can't change to make it better when something's not perfect. That's why he's horrible. Yeah, I go on the 27th, Drew. So I'll do the epidural on the 27th. And then I do the full pet CT on the 4th of January. So it's going to be an interesting couple weeks here at the Muklewicz household. We're getting the weather. What is up? And I know why. How do I want to do this? In theory, I'd want to cut a 3-wood in, like a swoop from the left to the right to try to check this back at the pin. The problem is when you cut this shot at all with any of these higher woods, the chances of hitting the green on the fly and not hitting the ice in front. But yeah, Drew, no, you'll see me. I think that I'm thinking that I might have a Mr. Richard King here celebrate. So we might have our word of mouth Christmas party for me and my employees. So maybe we'll have a good time and do a nice long Christmas stream. We'll see. But all right, so my thought process here is this. You can man up your club. It's going to carry this over this. Yeah, yeah, we got World Championships coming up in February. And yes, I'm in. I got in early before the pandemic. We're going to just murder this. Leave myself like a 30-foot up 9 putt. Oh, or get really lucky. Whoa, that was fucking... Wow. Yeah, Drew, I'm not... It's... So we know the problem in my back. That's really easy to see off the MRI. But they're still thinking there's probably some sort of cancer. The fact that I've been on steroids and I'm barely staying the same weight and I'm losing weight, 40 pounds in 4 months without trying, that's kind of a lot of weight. And now I'm not gaining any with taking steroids now. That's also a little scary too. So I'm just hoping for some kind of good thing. There's a history of colon cancer too. So I'm almost hoping for something like that. Oh, get out there, Jason, man. We'll have a good time. We're going to be at the Westgate now. It's not the most exciting of hotels, but it's a really good sports book for one. But it was really disconcerting for me, Drew, in Texas. Everybody's like, holy shit, you lost so much weight, you look good. And I'm like, yeah, because I probably got cancer. Fuck you. Not like, it's not being mean. People were being nice, but it was like, the reason behind it sucks. But hey, if I can keep the weight down, if they find a cancer, get rid of it. We just got a double threat there. We're going to be healthy. We're going to have a clean back and no cancer with a lower weighted mouth, dude. This could end up being the next, 2023 might be the year of the mouth. Or 2022, sorry. We don't need to wait a whole year. Oh, yeah, you're really close. That was stupid. That was stupid. I got aggressive and almost caused myself. Let your chains on the door. I understand. This is nice that this has been frozen each time this has been long. Fortunately, we have tees, but when this course is live, if that shot, if you didn't have that there, you had to play this ball to that little patch there, and the second one to stick the fairway down there was tough as hell. Two, the second shot from there was a tough shot too. I'm sure, Jason, I know everybody does. I'm happy for it. I'm blessed in that regard. Mine. All right, 204. 9-wood. This is the right club. It's perfect. This has got hole out opportunity written all over it. I laid off of it too much. Land on top of that hill. Oh. Okay. Hole 18. This is a much easier setup than we've seen, but since we're offset on every par 4, which is something I talked to Adam about, and he's all for changing this to line everything up, pointing you at the hole on every hole. That would be a huge change in Golden Tee, and it will speed up gameplay for 1, and 2, it makes a lot of these shots a lot more technical. But we're going to play it from this side. We're going to hit a forward. We're not going to murder, but we got to cut it a little bit because that's only a 7.5 win. It's not going to turn it back to the hole enough. Perfect. There's a clean round. There we go. All right, guys. You guys gave me a test with the vocal cords tonight. I'm definitely going to feel it tomorrow. But, man, I love when you guys get me going on tangents, get me going on topics. Most of the time, Golden Tee topics. But I think we did a lot of learning for each other tonight. Don't hesitate. Guys, if you're listening, if you're watching the show, you're just watching, you don't want to chime in, there is no bad question. And this is for serious. Even a bad question could get me going on a topic that might help everybody else out. So please ask away. I thrive on it. It makes the streams go better for all of us. And if you don't see me again, we will say Merry Christmas to all of you. I think you'll see me one time before Christmas. I was going to maybe take off Friday, but we'll see what happens. Maybe Jill and I will give a little special Christmas shout out to everybody. But otherwise, if we don't, everybody have a great time. Yeah, Caesar, you do need to make another appearance. But everybody have a great holiday, and we'll see you guys very soon. I love all of you. Word of mouth is out. Merry Christmas, guys.